Ladies and gentlemen, I am David Ruffin, Eddie Kane, and Bobby Brown. And these niggas are the Temptations, the Five Heartbeats, a new edition. Welcome to Hip Hop Talks.
This guy.
So yeah, as he was saying, he's David Ruffin and all of that stuff. And guess where he's at? In the lobby.
Coop in the background singing "Nights Like This." I wish. Hey, Coop, Eddie Kane trying to sing his way back in the group.
That was great. That was great. You weren't expecting that
like
intro.
This.
So just for the people know, AG is going to moderate today, but I asked to do the intro, and that's why I asked to do the intro. But AG, it's all yours. Welcome to Hip Hop Talks, everybody. Click like and subscribe to the page. If you want to hear Eddie Kane sing on his Twitter page, you can follow me at all the things with COPP.
All right, y'all. First thing we're going to get into, man. Yo, we actually got to be in the same place at the same time for the first time, this past weekend. We pulled up in Shelby, North Carolina, and, dope event, you know what I'm saying? Little R&B and hip hop action. Shout out to the homie LT who put out a project last week called Spirit versus Flesh. We wanted to pull up on LT. That stands for Lyrical Talent. We wanted to pull up on LT in his hood in his hometown of Shelby, North Carolina for his homecoming. And it was dope to see the bros there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a dual functioning pull up because we all got to be in the same place at the same time. And it was, a dope situation where we got to chill with my bros. What y'all got to say about that?
Yo, it was fun. It was fun, man. Shout out to LT. LT hit me up every morning with some good quotes, man. Real good brother. He definitely was in the hood. It was fun, man. Small town Shelby. And I know Coop's at closest backyard of Charlotte, like 45 minutes from Charlotte. We had some laughing. We had some good laughter.
It was some crazy times.
Crazy times. We saw some interesting performances. I'm not going to get into. Your homie got on stage with the high heels and
the Prince joints. Them look like the knockoff Prince joints. It's like them was like when Prince was in his peak, they was probably selling the knockoff version at Payless or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Not the Prince heels, but the knockoff Payless Prince heels.
Right.
Sean had to get the details, man. You could have left it ambiguous.
I couldn't help it, man. When he came on stage he had a tam tilt to the side.
He had the Public Enemy joint.
He did,
to fight the power joint.
Nigga, that was a beret. Let's call it what it is. The nigga was wearing a beret. He was wearing a beret.
Yeah.
He wore a beret.
But nah, man, it was cool, man. Shout out to Andrew because we also did dinner with Andrew.
Yes, Mirror Music.
We were only 3 black people inside the joint, but it was great.
We were definitely the only Negroes in the establishment.
They were looking at like, are these rappers?
Look, there is a black woman when we walked in that was getting the food to go, and she kind of shot us a look like, "What the hell y'all doing sitting down in here?" Like she shot me the look. She gave me the look. She gave me the look like, "Nigga, what is y'all doing?"
Yo. The wildest part is like mad country, and then you hit a couple turns, and then you in the middle of the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of wild.
Did y'all peep the waitress when she slipped Andrew that little note? She was like,
"Yo, don't do this."
The note was like, "Are you safe?" And I was like, "Yo, Andrew, don't give us up right now. Like, don't give us up right now. Don't give us up right now.
Don't do that, man. That's wild.
That's enough. I actually had it was a time of duality for me. I'm gonna tell you what. First of all, LT hopped out wearing a leopard shirt with a leopard scarf.
He did.
So I walked. So I do what I do best. I talk trash. I was like, "We interviewing Prince today, guys? What's up? Nice to meet you." Fellas, what's up? Like, what's good? That's the first thing. I think what we saw in Shelby. I mean this for good and for bad. Like when I was in Shelby, I felt like I was home. For better and for worse. It was like, oh no, I know exactly what's going on. It's super country and white right here at this barbecue place that we're sitting down at with my lifelong friend. who does happen to be white, recommended this establishment. And I like the fact that he didn't hesitate to invite us there. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me some of about who Andrew is as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As in Andrew don't see color, he see people.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
So I thought about how fortunate I was to have a friend like him for so long, and what a special moment it is to always see him. But, you know, to have old friends meet new friends and meet for the first time. Shelby's very country and very hood, guys. It's like all that pocket in North Carolina, though, because I was thinking, nah, Kings Mountain like this. Gas House, Gastonia is like this. Part of Charlotte I grew up in is like this. And remember, I looked at y'all and told you, I was like, that's why I got the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because even we was talking about just feeling like we were being watched and unwelcomed and uninvited a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that was okay, though. We was good.
No. We was good. I ain't stressing it. I ain't studying it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was one of those things, the environment, the feel that environment that you felt, it's like, oh no, that's why I was like, oh no, I was like, I gotta get out of here. It's like, how many days till I graduate from high school? Okay, 1,053 days. All right, countdown on, because we gotta get the fuck up out of here, because ain't nothing going on.
No doubt.
But the ruining, you know what I'm saying, of the neighborhoods and the projects. LT and his people pulled up. It was a great interview. I think it's a great template for us moving forward to use for independent artists that we're going to be pulling up on. I got plans on pulling up on some people, one artist and his crew in particular. They already know who they are. You know, Sean, we got a pull-up schedule, you know what I mean, with your people that we got to work out. So it's like, you know, the motion was good. It was good practice. It was fun being the cameraman and letting y'all do the interviewing.
Yeah, that was dope. You know what I mean? We wanted to bring back that aesthetic that we grew up on, right? You know, remember when we used to watch Yo MTV Raps or MTV Jams, and they pulled up in Staten Island on the Wu-Tang Clan and just walk around Shaolin and, you know, talk to Old Dirty. And, you know, speaking of which, rest in peace, 20 years, you know, we lost ODB. But we just wanted to bring that aesthetic back. So, you know, LT showed us around his hood. Be on the lookout for that footage. We wanted to bring that aesthetic, and everybody was real welcoming. You know, LT, his people, his family. When we pulled up to the venue, you know what I'm saying? You know, exclusive parking, you know, where we didn't have to be in the crowd, like, you know, didn't have to pay for any tickets or anything. Everybody was, you know, real hospitable to us. So, you know, we appreciate that and look forward to doing something like that again for real.
Venue showed us a lot of love. People at the venue showed us a lot of love.
Absolutely. Yo, and if anybody's watching now, we handed out a lot of business cards, you know, so people could like tap into what we're doing if they weren't familiar. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for, you know, tapping in with us. Like, subscribe, and share with other people. You know what I'm saying? We noticed a little uptick in our following this past week, so hopefully that has something to do with that. And you know, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, subs went up, AG. Subs went up. Shout out to you and your lady for coming up with the card with the links. Shout out.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? We was working the crowds. We was working the crowds.
Look here, Sean. Funniest shit about when I was there is that I walked up to AG. I was like, "You got any cards left?" He's like, "Man, I ain't got no cards left. I do this." He was going to the top. And then he kept look, Sean. And then he kept on walking past me like he didn't know me after he said it. I was like, "Well, listen." I was like, "Well, all right."
He was locked in.
Party politics. Promote.
Yeah, he was locked in. He was like the predator out there. He had like a certain demo that he wanted to get out the way first. I'm not going to do that on camera, but he had a certain demo.
He had a certain demographic.
Yeah.
Did he hit his demographic? So what you're saying is he was a politician about it. He hit his core demographics first.
Listen, hey, connect politics.
Got the ancillary rural areas where.
Excuse me, Queen. I'm AG from Hip Hop Talks. Excuse me, Queen.
Yo, that's nasty work. So moving on.
Calling the cop queen is nasty.
No. Excuse me, Queen is only crazy and nasty work when it's followed by "You look so beautiful." Hey, Queen.
Right. Yo, I did not say that. Full disclosure. I did not say that. Y'all wow. But anyway, you know, moving on. Shout out to my girl for real. Moving on to new music. Next topic. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the rock tonight. we had some stuff that dropped last week. Actually, before we get into a new album in particular, let's go back 2 weeks ago when we had 2 singles drop. First one I want to talk about is Gangstarr dropping a new single called "Finish 'Em." Did you guys get to check that joint out?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Dope Lucy. I want to hear more. I think it's a dope Lucy. Nothing to go crazy over. Nothing to be like, oh, Gangstarr. It's a Lucy, right? I want to hear more.
What you got, Coop?
It's just all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this put you in mind for the Primo and Nas album? Like, if it's on this level, a lot of the beats, what would you have to say to that?
It's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Sean?
It's not gonna cut it.
It's not.
I agree. It was a nice little joint, but that's not the level we need to be operating at. So I think Primo knows this. But moving on, we had another. Oh, go ahead, Coop.
No, it's cute. Wasn't impressed at all. Next.
It was all right. It was okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's just all right.
So we had another single by the combination of Snoop and Dr. Dre featuring Jhené Aiko called "Gorgeous," and it's the first single off the Missionary album. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? I want to go to you first, Coop.
First of all, I'm never forgiven Big Sean for stealing my woman from me. That's the first thing.
You couldn't handle that, Coop. Don't even act like you could.
Yeah.
That's right up my alley, actually, sir. You should ask about me out here in these Atlanta streets. Should ask about me. Should check my resume, check my stats, put numbers on the board like Pusha T. It was good, and I like the record. But this is what I mean about really not wanting to hear this record and not wanting it to be called Missionary and not really wanting an album from them at this point, because I have nothing else to compare their work to except for the Chronic, Doggy Style, and the Chronic 2001. How would you like that to be the barometer by which you were measured as an artist? Because that's what those guys are fighting against, which means they're fighting the most losingest. I don't even know if losingest is a word. They're fighting the most losingest. They're fighting the most losingest battle in the history of rap when they choose to make an album together at this stage in the game. This record is just good. It does not hit the mark for, what they are renowned for. Specifically those 3 albums with them, being the best duo ever. Producer MC. It's the perfect producer MC pairing. There's something about how he sounds on Dr. Dre's beats that's more special than any particular MC over any particular all-time great producer's beats. They're fighting against themselves. They are losing. I said they were going to lose. Hence the new word, losiness. Sean, take it away.
I agree. You can't come again. I said this before. If you're going to make Missionary, the second part, the Doggy Style, you don't lead off with this. You know what I mean? You don't lead off with this straight up. And
what are we doing?
Looking, even like I said before, even looking at the feature list and look at the direction this album could be going into, you could have had a different name for the album, because now the expectation is to be in the same vein or close to the same vein as Doggy Style. It's no different than when Dre did the Chronic 2001. It was the follow-up, from the Chronic. And that album was amazing. It was updated because you had different players. You had a different sound, but it was still updated from the Chronic. I mean,
some people argue that it's better than the original Chronic.
Just it's there. It's a great album for what it did. Explosive, and for what it did at that time, it did its job. It did its job. So, but again, the lead single is what draw you into the Chronic 2001, right? So Dre is back. The formula is somewhat there, but it's more updated. With this just doesn't, for me, it just doesn't give me excitement, if you will, for a Snoop and Dre album, because the expectations are high. It's been too long.
The people who think the Chronic 2001 are better are people who are like into the sounds, the mix, the mastering, the engineering. Because the mixing, the mastering, the sound, The soundscape, the engineering, yeah, that's better. It's because they have more money, nigga. Stupid.
Well, and I think you got a good point with that, Coop. But I think it's also an age demo too. Last episode you spoke to Stillmatic Babies, right? We had the original Chronic. I think a certain age demo came up on Chronic 2001, so that makes the difference as well.
Yeah, they didn't watch Rodney King get his ass beat. I get it. We did.
Yeah,
we did.
So
whooped his ass on TV, started a whole riot.
So I thought it was a cool little joint. The production by Dre standards wasn't, all that great, but I think Snoop did his thing though. You know what I'm saying? Snoop sounded good, sounded comfortable, sounded in pocket, but I was more so let down by Dre's production than I was by Snoop's performance on the microphone. So, and Janae Aiko did her thing with the hook. But like you said, for a first single, expectations for that combination, it's not going to cut it.
Think about what the prior first singles are when these guys get together. I believe we have Dre Day.
Yeah.
Who Am I?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Still DRE.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have this.
Yeah.
This.
And then the first pairing is Deep Cover. So
keep that. That's what they're doing the first time around. You can keep this.
Right.
Keep this. Put it somewhere. Put it in your vault. Put it in your vault.
That's a joy. Again, Dre smart. You know what I mean? You never question Dre, right? But come on, man.
I'm hoping this is like one of those album cuts released as a single that when you hear it in the context of the album, it's much better. That's what I'm hoping for. So, but we hadn't spoke about those singles, so those came out 2 weeks ago. But moving on, we had an album drop a week ago by Ab Soul called Soul Burger.
We got super chats.
Okay, let's hit those real quick. Yo, shout out to 007. Queens get the money with the $2 super chat.
00, what up, baby? What up, man?
CJ with the $5. Appreciate you, CJ. Bless you guys. I hope you're good and healthy. Also, Sean, thank you. I didn't think my stuff would inspire someone like that. I'm going to do better. That's what's up.
What up,
Yo,
CJ?
I heard that joint, CJ. It was pretty dope.
Hold on, real quick. Look here, man. 007 sent me a picture last week. And all I'm saying is that text 007 and told 007 when he sent me the picture, when I grow up, I want to be like you. And 007 is a few years younger than me. All right, keep going. Super chat. Super chat.
Yo, 007 with the $5.
Shout out to you. 007 on the boat with it.
Appreciate you, 007 with the $5 super chat. Good to see y'all together. Next time, meet up in Queens. Sean knows the move. Christo's Steakhouse. Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Get out.
Yep. Yeah, so next up we got Ab Soul's Soul Burger. You know what I'm saying? So that was the high profile rap album that dropped last week. Did you guys get a chance to tap into that? Coop, I'll start with you.
I did. It's not good.
Okay, simply put.
It's not good. It's not
Moving
good.
on. You got anything else to add?
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I just feel like this year, I keep waiting for a project to impress me. And every time it's an artist that I like, I feel like even if the project is solid, they just kind of are letting me down.
Yeah.
And I just feel let down by this project. It's not that good. It's just, his name's Ab Soul, so it's abstract.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very abstract.
It's a little trippy, you know, little Kid Cudi West, if you will.
Yep.
Sometimes you can just go too far out there and we can't see where the fuck you went. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this album is. He just went to, I don't know. What are we talking about? What is the album about? What are we doing? Where's the direction? Production is mid at best. His delivery is always very, he raps the way Virginia Woolf writes. It's there's really no rhyme or reason or necessarily patternization to it. Mm-hmm. So he's always all over the place. Somebody, he need an A&R and an executive producer.
And that's not a typical West Coast aesthetic.
He needs an A&R and an executive producer. Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to do both. You can call Coop. Call 1-800-HIP-HOP-TALKS. Okay? Coop will help make your shit tighter. I'll put your shit together. We will rework the sequencing. We're going to pull some of these beats. We're going to get some more West Coast sounding ass beats in here. Gonna give
That's
the
what I
people
think it needed.
they can ride to. Yeah, what's up with these West Coast artists other than Larry June not making West Coast sounding ass albums?
Yeah.
I'd
What you
like a
got,
West
Sean?
Coast artist to make a West Coast album not named Larry June. That should be the challenge.
Yeah.
That's
Make
how
it
it
a West
is.
Coast artist. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of being disappointed this year.
Yeah.
Sean, what's your thoughts, bro?
I echo Cool. Moving on.
Well, I'll just say this real quick about the album. Like, I also thought I like Herbert album a lot better. I think that was a great effort.
It's way better.
Herbert was a very good album. I was more so happy to see him spin the block so quick, after just a 2-year gap, before the Herbert album, he went through some, some things. Won't really dive into that, but I was glad to see him spin the block, but I was disappointed too. I only found myself going back to about half of the album. Like the intro, yeah, half, and that's not good. 9 Mile, the intro, once I heard the Soul to Soul sample going into the Mobb Deep, I was like, okay, this joint's going to be hard, but it never quite took off. Like I was anticipating something, but it never quite took off. I do like Bucko Jr. D&D's okay. Squeeze First, the ode to the, Squeeze First 2, the ode to Jay-Z, Squeeze First off the Dynasty album. I did like that record. I think Absol was spitting on that.
AG, I got a problem with him remaking the song that wasn't that good to begin with, god damn it. That's my problem.
No, I like that. I like that song.
You remaking songs that wasn't that good to begin with. That wasn't a top 5 song on a bottom 5 Jay-Z album. You sit
bottom 5 Jay-Z album is wild.
The place I'm talking about. That's that all over the place.
The Dynasty gets unfair hate. Crazier with Jay.
It gets proper hate. It's fair.
Well, Sean, we know you hate Jay. You a proclaimed Jay hater. We'll get to that later, though.
Jay. He does hate Jay, but this album ain't that good. It's not that good.
We'll get to that later, though.
We'll talk about it.
Crazier with JID, I think was okay, but for that pairing for a collab, I think it could have been a lot better. But I do go back to that. I like the song Peace, Sky's Limitless, sampling the Sky's the Limit with Big and 112. That's cool. And then Righteous Man is all right. That's about it.
Are you listening to how you're talking about it out loud? You don't even sound like you're happy with the songs that you just that you said.
You have no enthusiasm.
Shit is good because the shit's not any good.
Right. You have
I got half, man. Like Eddie Murphy said, half.
Nigga, you should have heard how you just talked about the half.
Right. No enthusiasm. I was like, yo, is he reading this thing off because he have to? You know what I mean? No enthusiasm. Nah.
So moving on. So collectively, we wasn't feeling that album that much, but moving on. That's all the new music we got to cover right now. But now we're going to cover what's in the news, which is the Grammy nominations coming up.
Terrible.
Yo, can we get this other super chat real quick?
Oh, we got one more? Yeah, put it up there.
Yeah.
Man, I hope you're not paying AG the same salary you're paying me for him to be all delayed with these super chats when he moderates. This is bullshit. I want my job back.
Whoa, man.
Yeah, saying there's a salary involved as well. Ahmad with the $5 super chat. Peace, Coop. You still got the Bucks being a contender. Laugh out loud.
Hey, don't slip. Giannis just had 59 the other night.
Yeah, but they're like,
you know what Giannis said? You know what Giannis realized? Giannis realized what we already knew. Well, this is all your fault anyway. Better go drop 59 and fix this shit.
Oh, it's not his fault.
It is his fault. Look
That's
here.
a fact.
Look
Can't
here.
stand Doc Rivers, man.
Coach Bud. You got Coach Bud fired. All right. Now that Phoenix team, that Phoenix team was a midriff with a skirt on last year, and they actually look like championship contenders since they got Coach Bud. And it's the same damn roster outside of getting Tyus Jones at point guard. So Giannis' fault. It's Giannis' fault. So that's what I think. I think he better go back to Ball So Hard University. I think Dame's lost a step too, and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this to be more like.
I'm seeing that as well. I'm seeing that. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I hate to say it too because I love Dame. I love Dame more than I love like a lot of these guys, and I thought this.
Yeah, Dame is a real one.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a rejuvenation year, and it's looking like like all those years of carrying Portland on his back and his knees and his shoulders and his feet is starting to show a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, man, moving on to the Grammy talk. So What I want to do for this segment, before we get into like, what the Grammys means to us and, all that as hip hop culture, I want to read through a couple of the categories and the nominees. And I want you guys to tell me who you think will win and who you would like to see win in this category. So first off, we got Best Rap Album. We got Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1. We got Doechii, Alligator Bites, Never Heal. Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Future Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. And J. Cole, Might Delete Later. I'm going to kick it to you, Sean. Which one do you want to see win? And which one do you think is going to win?
I want to see Common get it.
Okay.
In that category, I would love to see Common get it. But I think M is going to get it, regardless. To be honest, I think M is going to get it. You're not beating M.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What you got, Coop?
One phrase, 2 words, 3 letters in each word. ATL, ho. We don't trust you. Future. ATL, ho. ATL.
That's what you think is going to win, or that's what you want to win?
You said want first. ATL, ho.
Okay.
Always picking ATL over these hoes.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
We don't trust you.
It's a chance.
And Kendrick is a chance.
We don't trust you.
Because Kendrick is a big part of that movement. So
yes. Yeah. So is that also who you think is going to win, Coop?
No. They be hating on the ATL if it's not Outkast and Andre's flute playing ass. So
I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
How about you don't?
Yeah.
How about you don't get to that in a minute? We just act like it didn't happen, and we act like it didn't happen. It's not part of the show lineup, and keep it going. Make some executive decisions as the moderator. I want my job back. I'm calling human resources.
This is not a bad dream. It's a reality.
Taj. Is Taj human resources? Is Andrew? Who's human resources? Andrew or Taj? I'm calling him after the show. I'm letting you know now.
I'm actually.
You know what I'm talking about on your back. I want my job back.
He tried to make Andrew human resource just because he's white. That's crazy.
The practicality is there, and it has nothing to do with his wife.
Yeah. Who you think is going to win, Coop? Who you think is going to win?
Eminem's probably winning.
Eminem. I'm with y'all on that. We're all in agreement. We think Eminem's going to win. I would like to see Common get that nod for the win as well, but I'm with Sean. You're not beating Eminem in the rap album category.
They don't deserve it, so no.
All right, so next category, best rap song. We got Asteroids by Rhapsody, Carnival by Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign on Vultures. We got Like That by Future Metro featuring Kendrick. We got Not Like Us by Kendrick and Yeah Glow by Glorilla. So this time I'm gonna kick it to Sean. Wow, this time I'm gonna kick it to you first, Coop. Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win?
Who do I think will win?
Yes.
What was the first record that you named?
Asteroids by Rhapsody.
I have a hard time believing that Not Like Us is not going to win at this point.
Right.
It's going to win. It's going to sweep.
I'm believing that. A hard time believing.
Yeah.
But who would you like to see win, though?
I don't know, to be honest. You want to know what? This is actually going to surprise you. Carnival might be my favorite rap song this year.
I'm not surprised. Carnival's a banger, man.
Carnival's the best rap song Kanye's made in the last 10 years. It's a Kanye West song. It's the best Kanye West song in the last 10 years. Yeah, Carnival's a banger. I'm still playing Carnival. So if we're just talking about quality of record and what I think, like I would actually like want to see win, even though I really don't want him to win anything. You know, you see, you got to follow me. You see, I will vote for him for president. I do not want him to win any more Grammys.
They don't want him to
get out of control.
They don't want him to win anything.
They also need he's not going to win. But Carnival is the best song of all these songs, actually. So.
I would tend to agree. I'm with you on both of your picks, Coop. I would like to see Carnival win, but I do think it'll be Not Like Us. So Coop, my bad. Sean, what do you got?
No, I think Not Like Us is going to win. And,
right.
I don't want to see Kanye win nothing right now, to be honest. I'm being honest, man, because I don't want to see Kanye get up there.
He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. First of all,
no. You want to know what I realized? Sean is a born hater because there's just some people.
You just now figuring this out, Coop?
Look, AG, listen. There are some people that when they say hater shit, it just sounds more haterific. When they say it, when Sean says hater shit, it comes off real strong. It's like his hater level. It's like his hater level is different. It's like
he's smug as hell. Like, look at him.
He's like if this was like Marvel, he would be like the Phoenix of like haters. He would have like all the hater powers.
Right. Thank you.
All the hater powers.
Right. Look at him. Look, he looks smug right now. Remember when Nas was talking about Flex? He was like, "Look at his face." Look at
You want to know what?
Look at Sean's face.
Did a haters ball? He would win the haters ball every year.
No. He would. I'm trying to tell you.
I was in a place beneath me, and I didn't even flinch. I was in Shelby.
Like, hold on, AG. I gotta tell everybody this. When we all parted ways, Sean dapped you and me up and said, "Pleasure for y'all to meet me." I was like, yo.
I don't know why I said that. I don't even know why I said that. I apologize. Why? I didn't say that. I said it to Andrew. He was like, "Man, it was." It's like, you're so modest. You're so modest.
Yo, get to the next category, AG.
All right, this next one, best rap performance. We got Cardi B, Enough, Miami. We got Common and Pete, When the Sun Shines Again. We got Doechii, Nissan Altima. We got Eminem, Houdini, Future and Metro, Like That, featuring Kendrick. We got Glorilla yet again for Yeah Glow, and then we got Kendrick Lamar again for Not Like Us.
That's a tough one. That's tough.
I feel like it's the same goddamn songs from the previous category.
Pretty much.
That's more nuance.
I would like to see Future and Metro win with Like That for the best rap performance, just off the strength that jumped off, the battle, with Kendrick's verse. I think they should get credit for that song somewhere.
That's giving Kendrick another Grammy, and everybody knows that I'm not having that, so I'm going to say no to that. It's ATL Ho when it's just ATL Ho.
It's going to be tough, man, because that's a real tough one. Yeah. Because I think you got M. You got 2 joints from Kendrick. That's tough.
If M is in, it's kind of like since we've been bringing up like the Dave Chappelle stuff today, like with the haters ball, it's like in the race draft when they traded LJ and they dapped each other up. Like when the Grammys put Eminem in a rap category, all the white people in the back like do the little shake right quick, like I got these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it's Eminem until further notice.
Yeah, I agree.
And I still enjoyed the album, and I don't want to knock the album or not.
The album was good.
Album was good.
Because when talking about him and talking about these things, let me clarify: this is the best album that he has made in a long ass time.
Long time.
I agree.
It's actually good in my opinion.
It is.
I agree.
It's going to make our top 20 list up until this point, correct?
Oh yeah, it was in there. It was towards the bottom, but it was in there.
It's one of the 20 best rap albums you've heard this year so far, still, right?
Yeah, it's there. Is there
for sure? Okay, couple more Grammy questions, then we'll move on. For the album of the year category, we got just 2 notable nominations. We got Beyonce for Cowboy Carter. So I think she switched her C's to the country album when she didn't win last year and got beat out by the Swifties and stuff like that. So I think she switched her C's on the strength of that. And then we also got your boy Coop, Andre 3K with his Flute album nominated for album of the year, which we knew was going to happen. We said we would be here. Coop just left the chat. But Sean, didn't we say that we would be here, that it would get nominated for all the Grammys and all that?
What happened?
Hypothetical. Well, 2 questions. Do you think Beyonce gets a W? Or do you think Beyonce gets a W? And my second question is, what if Andre wins with the Flute album?
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be pandemonium, man. Like, honestly, for Coop, it's going to go crazy. Look,
pandemonium.
I don't know, man. This is crazy, man. That album, the Flute album.
It's giving credence to it just by being nominated.
It's crazy, bro. It's nasty work. It is complete nasty work, honestly.
I'm not even going to bother you to answer that one, Coop.
What category is he nominated in?
This is album of the year.
Album of the year, Cool.
Next question.
Album of the year.
The next question I have is about the man of the hour who has so many nominations.
I just want to put some context to that real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Of course you did.
I gotta do
Of course you did.
He got a song on there called "The Night I Turned Into a Black Panther," and I stalked the grounds of Atlanta and realized that I am something special. That's the name of the
It's
song.
something like that for real.
Something like that. That's what Coop. That's ATL ho. Yeah, that's what you said. ATL ho. The night I turned into a Black Panther and walked the streets of Atlanta and realized that I was a flute god. That's the name of the song. ATL ho.
Coop's embarrassed. You should be, Coop.
Next
As
question.
I'm gonna.
We're having trouble.
Think about props. Look at
trouble. No, we're having trouble making time with the show, so we're gonna have to proceed to the next topic, please.
Yo, look at Sean. Sean is what?
Next year, Sean plays the acoustic guitar. It's coming out, and I'm going to see it for the Grammy.
Yo, when Sean brings props, the show goes to another level. That's crazy.
Yes, that level's called down, AG. Next question. That's when the elevator goes down.
Yeah. Next question I have. This one I want specifically for Coop. Have we seen in the history of music somebody have a year this big when they haven't dropped an album and mostly behind one song as Kendrick has had this year in 2024?
Never.
And it's a second part to that question. What if Not Like Us doesn't come out and the battle ends at Meet the Grams? Does he still have this big of a year with this momentum? Take the floor.
Not. Absolutely not. First of all, I've never seen anything like this before, and quite frankly, I don't want to ever see it again. It is proof positive that the average person is stupid. Proof positive the average person is stupid. It's baseless. It's foundationless. He pretty much, I mean, I've never seen a clout chasing move get more glorified than this. Like, because that's essentially what it is. I keep on trying to say this. If he's not talking about the person that he's talking about, oh, this doesn't go that far. Like, if he's talking about, like, if him and Lupe are dancing, this doesn't go that far. If Not Like Us is about Lupe, like it doesn't.
But it's no hate behind what you're saying, because you're saying this and still recognizing it as the dopest song that came out this year.
It's a great song.
You said that. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I am on record, like to say this for all the KKK fans. Kung Fu Kenny crazy motherfuckers. KKK. The other KKK. I mean, Trump in office, so the other KKK is back outside.
Yo, we'll get demonetized.
It'll probably be a march on racist ass Stone Mountain real soon. But like, look at these white men who pillaged and raped black people for centuries. Let's just go ahead and engrave them on a big ass mountain for everybody to see forever.
Sean going off screen because Sean's on security detail.
Sorry, I'd like to apologize for implicating Sean. The opinions of Ahmad Cooper on Hip Hop Talks are not reflective of Sean, because these comments are good, and we all know Sean doesn't give good comments anyway. Now, the record is great, AG, but it's not what people are making it into be. Like, this is like, do you think this is one of the greatest songs of all time because it's getting that type of treatment? Do you understand that? People are
modern era, yes. All time, no.
Okay, so modern era, classify that. Give me where modern era starts. Like I told you last week, modern era for me starts with Kanye's "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy."
I was gonna say post 2010, okay. The last 15 years.
So that's what I'm saying. So you think this is one of the 20 best / most important culturally relevant records of the last 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you another question, because I'm just curious on how you're gauging it. What's the better record? Not Like Us by Kendrick, or If You Know You Know by Pusha T?
If You Know You Know, but If You Know You Know don't have the impact that Not Like Us has. So when you're talking about these things, you have to factor in the impact.
Absolutely. Okay, I just wanted to see where you were like scaling it. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So yeah, like with the Grammy talks, and us as a culture, we don't really rock with the Grammys too tough. I really don't plan on watching it like that. I mean, we'll report on it, but one of our biggest points of contention is a lot of these boards that make these selections, and some of these selections are good, but and J. Cole even got nominated. It'd be crazy if he won Rap Album of the Year. But anyway, that's another story.
He doesn't deserve to win either. Notice I didn't
but my point of contention is we don't know the people that sit on these boards are they like for real hip hop heads, because you don't know how really they are invested in the culture and invested in the music. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I want to say to the people is that if you come into us for our product, you don't ever have to wonder, who's sitting behind the content we put out, because we real ones over here. Granted, we just over here giving our opinions, but it come from a real place. You know what I mean? And Sean ain't gonna say it because he's modest. Like, he's plugged in. Some of his OGs is Nas's OGs. Like Sean's family, you've heard Nas shout out Bark Him, you know what I'm saying, multiple times. That's Sean's like literal family. You know what I'm saying? So we're really plugged in over here. You know what I mean? And Taj is an extension. She's part of the Nas camp. And you're getting real opinions that come from a real place. You know what I'm saying? So you want to speak to that a little bit, Sean?
Hold on real quick, Sean.
It's more you guys, man. It's more about you guys, because you got someone like Coop. Coop has had interviews, with Hit Boy, has had interviews, with The Glove. Has shared, some really great interviews, great introspection on different things of that nature. Even with you, AG, being from West Virginia and just having a different outlook on hip hop and like really being of the culture. Like not many people go that far down that line when it comes to hip hop. When you're talking about buying, the albums and the vinyls and the merch and the things that come along with it, and the statues and all the things that coincide with the cultural impact of hip hop that's lost over time, because we're in a streaming era where we forget the relics of hip hop. We forget the cassettes, the CDs, and the albums, the vinyls, all of those things. We forget all those things, and it's always Coop alluded to it earlier. We had the chance to meet up in North Carolina, and even that aesthetic that we took for the interview is hip hop driven. You know what I mean? So we live and breathe it. We talk about hip hop all day, every day. Like we live and breathe it. And so to your point, like we don't know who's behind the Grammy boards if they really live and breathe hip hop and have those kind of ties. They're closing their eyes and throwing a dart at the wall and see whatever lands, and that's who they're going to select. These selection doesn't make an ounce of sense right now. It really doesn't.
Hey, look here. When AG was talking, I thought he sounded like the podcast version of Suge Knight. Yo, we got that uncut crack over here, nigga. All right,
that's what I'm saying. That's essentially what I was doing.
You tired of these niggas stepping on your product? Come to hip hop talks, nigga.
Never been stepped on. Still yellow. You know what I mean?
Right.
Still yellow.
Right.
Still yellow.
I get that butter all night. Most niggas don't know a brick from they keep buying hard white.
White. That's right.
And if you
know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that guy. Right. We're gonna talk about that guy here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So we'll move on to the next topic with that. We got any super chats to get?
Yep, super chats. We got 3 of them.
All right.
I've been stripped of my duties. Why don't you read the super chats, AG?
Yo, Lord Vakai, I think it is $2 super chat. Killer Mike versus Ego remix. I don't know what that's in reference to. I might have missed
Killer
something.
Mike's verse on the Ego remix.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. Yeah. Killer Mike did his thing. And he's back with another super chat, $5 joint. Appreciate it. Did y'all hear Trump's tweet referencing not like us? Yeah, I pretended like that didn't happen.
Dangerous.
Yo, CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Bounty Killer sample not like us for his new song. Does Drake take another L for the sample alone? I don't think so.
You get what I'm saying? Do you see how much we are talking about not like us? Even just from having the conversation during this podcast, like people are literally super chatting us about somebody sampling. Not like us. Wop, 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 wop.
And that's kind of weird because it's like too soon. You know what I'm saying? It just I don't know. That kind of throws me off. Sampling that already.
I mean, it's almost like they want the other guy to, you know, fall from grace so they can put the other guy up high to win. But we don't know who that guy is because he really hasn't explained himself, nor has he made a good album in about 7 years, getting close to 8.
Well, we won't go up. We won't let you go off on that tangent, Coop.
Closer to 8 than 7. Closer to 8 than 7.
This is why you're not moderating today, because we're going to keep the itinerary.
It's November of 2024.
All right, and we're taking it back to November of 1998 with our next topic, which is album anniversaries. We got the 26th anniversary of Pete Rock's Soul Survivor on November 10th, 1998. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a stellar album. It's super dope. Before I pass it to you guys, I just want to say I feel like this is Pete Rock's production magnum opus. I like it better than Mecca and the Soul Brother, but I think that might be a hot take. But this is a great album. My question to you guys is, looking back on this album, usually when a producer gets a star-studded ensemble of rappers, it comes together like a compilation album. Where would you put Soul Survivor in the pantheon of those type albums by a producer? And would you like to see more of those type albums present day? I'll let you kick it off, Sean.
Absolutely. This album came at the right time in 98, actually. But it's not discussed a lot. I don't know why. I never understood why this album was never discussed as, you know, as part of that that top tiering of 98. Because 98 was heavy.
It
was a changing of the guard. And the sound of 98 was a changing of the guard. But this album really took it back to a Soul Survivor. In the compilation, you could tell the placements of who's who that was on the actual album itself was intentional, because you had some of the best rhyme slayers on there, some of the best beats, some of the best production, best sequencing. But again, the aesthetics, you know, you're talking about November when this album came out, we were heavy in the DMX era, heavy in the DMX era. And the sound just from the Rough Riders was clashing against something like this. This wasn't loud enough in comparison to Rough Riders. So that's pretty much my take. I'll kick it to Coop and get your thoughts, Coop.
Oh, real quick to that point, Coop will echo this sentiment, I'm sure. I love what the job that Pete did on this album, but Primo did a job on Moment of Truth the same year. You know what I'm saying? So
Rough Riders rule, man. Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. So a couple things, man.
Yeah, go ahead. You up, Coop?
First of all, you know what's wrong with this album? Came out too goddamn late. The sounds
in the
on
year
this album, November of 98, right?
Yep.
Oh no, shit, different by then. We live in a different world by then. This album should have came out the year before. If it actually comes out the year before, might be a top 5 rap album that year.
Yeah, could be.
Might be. Like, how about this? What do you like more, Wyclef Jean's The Carnival or Pete Rock's Soul Survivor?
For me, Soul Survivor.
I don't know, man. That Carnival was tough.
But yeah, I like Carnival. Nothing against it, but I'm picking Soul Survivor though.
Okay, I say that to say, oh no, The Carnival is a top 5 rap album in 1997, and so if Soul Survivor is a comparable album, yeah. But by November 98, I mean, let's just go down real quick. DMX's Dark and Hell is Hot is out and about and dominating. And Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood is about to drop in a month.
Yep.
Shit's on lock. All right. Volume 2 is also out September 29th.
Yep.
Along with the Clemini.
Yep.
Okay. That's also the year Lauryn Hill drops The Miseducation, is it not?
Yep.
The climate's different. This is a boom bap rap album that is built for 94, 95, 96, 97, not for 98.
But would you say Moment of Truth is? But this isn't?
Moment of Truth is far superior to this album. They're not even in the same stratosphere. Production
That's
wise,
fair.
rhyme wise, not either, because where I find Soul Survivor to be stellar on the first half, beat and rhyme wise, it's not as stellar on the second half. Moment of Truth is just stellar. Every moment,
all the way through.
all running. And so part of the problem, once again, that he's running into, and I'm realizing this, and this is my hot take, you know, Pete Rock's biggest problem is Preem. Like as a producer, because the placements that maybe Pete Rock should have got, it's like, well, Preem got those placements, and man, he got those placements, and he blasted.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this
All
Soul
the big
Survivor
Jay-Z and
project,
Nas placements. Yeah.
the Biggie J Nas placements, boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Now,
what are your favorite? Each of y'all give your favorite. Oh, Coop, you had another point.
hold on. Now here's the thing, though, and this is what I'm saying, and here's the biggest problem with this album. Well, there's the DMXJ thing, there's the Equimini thing, there's the Tribe Final Album thing, there's the Most Intelligent. Like, there's a lot of things to point to, but mostly what's wrong with this album is that, well, this is the same type of album that Moment of Truth is.
But it's far better, is what you're saying. Yeah.
And Cream is just far better. So if you're choosing your hip hop boom bap for '98, you are not choosing this fucking album over Moment of Truth. I don't know nobody out here doing that. And this song, I mean, and this album has great songs on it. Truly Yours '98 with Cool G Rap.
Yeah. But it's levels.
Half Amazing with Meth.
That joint go hard.
The album,
what is your favorite?
Lead off with Deck and Corrupt. Oh my God. Oh my God,
that's
other stuff on here, but it's not fucking with Moment of Truth. It's a year too late. It's $1 short, and it's really like how his career has really gone. When you think about it, it's like, no,
it's like
too late. And because of that, it's just okay. And this is what I'm trying to tell you is it's like, well, it's not as classic as people think because it's not even a top 5 rap album for its year. I don't even know if it's top 7. It might barely be top 10. It might barely be top 10.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. Aesthetically, it doesn't fit.
Barely top 10. I can name about 6-7 albums just off.
Yikes. Why would Pete Rock act like that?
You think Capital Punishment by Pun? You like Capital Punishment by Pun?
Oh, of course, classic.
It's better than this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, Capital Punishment, Dark and Hell is Hot, Volume 2, Equimini. You know what I'm saying? It is already at Moment of Truth. It's already in 6th place at best. That's just off the top of my head without really like sitting down and running down the list of everything else again.
Okay, so we established it's not in the top of the top of the food chain in the top tier of '98. But just to give it a glowing remark before we move on, what's your favorite track on the album?
It's between Truly Yours '98 and the Deck and Corrupt joint that starts off the album.
True Master. Yeah. What you got, Sean?
Same. I bought this album because
True Master is Truly Yours.
Yep, True Master because of Deck. And the other joint I'm looking at right now, Strange Fruit with Capadonna. And also the joint.
That one was personal.
Personal, yeah. And the other joint with
shit. I feel like since I made the Capadonna comment, you've been making it a point to wear your Park Hill shit and to make Capadonna comments every week. When is the last time Capadonna dropped the album, Sean? Why are we talking about Capadonna every time? Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm with you on the True Master joint. We all three said that. I love that Deck feature. But I think the game with Ray Ghost and Prodigy is slapboxing with that. I love that beat.
So here's my thing with that, because that's what I was struggling with. That record's not better than Right Back at You off the Infamous.
That's right.
And so I'm like, well, that's not really them at their best together. We've heard them sound better even.
Right. Yeah. It's in the wheelhouse, but it's not better.
You want to know what? You want to know what the Half Man, Half Amazing? Method Man sounds amazing on Half Man, Half Amazing. It's just
he does.
Pete Rock really drags that song down with his rhymes.
Yeah. Well,
I wish somebody else would have split the mic time with Method.
Yeah, he's a producer first, and then the OC joint pretty tough too.
OC is tough.
Yeah, but moving on, we got any super chats to get?
Yep.
All right. Shout out to Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. We need to talk about how Gibbs has a better solo catalog than a lot of rappers who would be ranked above him. Most people's GOAT list. We actually talked about that a couple shows ago.
Yes, it's called Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. All three of them. Kendrick, Drake, a better catalog than all three of them.
Yeah, Sean disagrees, but we did talk about that.
One of them hasn't made a good album in almost 8 years, and everybody's acting like it didn't happen. All right.
Is that the only super chat, or we got another one?
One of them is backing out from battles during their own fucking festival.
See, this is why Coop can't moderate. He got ADHD.
Like none of these niggas right now.
Ahmad with the $2 super chat. Is Soul Survivor better than the Pillage?
No.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sean. I think that's a conversation.
Soul separately is better than the Pillage.
I can't say either one. I'd have to listen to them back to back, but I think it's a conversation. Sound like mad disappointed.
Oh, crazy, man. Y'all
not a conversation.
Y'all bugging, man.
All right. Moving on.
My catalog.
We got one more. My fault. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Declan Above the Clouds is greater than Declan True Master. CJ, I agree with you. That is my favorite Gangstarr song, and that's my favorite Primo beat of all time. And Dex verse is just the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? So
scientist, mentally scarred, triple extra large, wild like rock stars who smash.
Yeah, like Sean when he smashes acoustic guitar.
Or when we smash it when we hear him playing it.
Well,
can I see that right quick? Can I see that right quick? Can I see that right quick? Please put it back up. Please put it away.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next one. November 14th, 2000. We got a 24-year anniversary of Prodigy's HNIC. And then I want Sean to take this away. The question I'm gonna ask you is, do you think that Prodigy lived up to the lofty expectations that he had going into his solo effort? Queens get the money. Sean, what you got?
Rest in peace, Pete. Straight up. No, he did not. HNIC coming off the heel, and I think I said this before, coming off the heels of Murder Music and how he was, the momentum was in Prodigy's way, man. Like he had the momentum, Quiet Storm verse, definitely verse of the year. I mean, it's slap boxing the verse of the decade, actually, if you really think about it. That verse on Quiet Storm was what it solidified Pete, because he was already there. He had quotables. You got the infamous, got quotables on that. He got in the Coop, you talked about it before, about Hell on Earth, when Prodigy ascended into that pantheon as one of them. Like, remember, we were talking about Prodigy in real time as being one of them. Like Prodigy, Nas, Big, Ray. Let's not forget about that.
As far as New York goes, yeah. Definitely as far as New York goes. 96 New York? Yeah, yes. 96 New York is Prodigy, Ray, Nas, Big.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. And let's not forget, Prodigy was giving Tupac fits on them joints. Drop a gem on them.
Yeah.
Drop a gem on them.
Yeah.
Drop a gem on them is special.
They only didn't say names. That was the only mistake. That's why it's not talked about.
Special.
I think it's not talked about.
You knew.
Yeah. How about this? Of all the diss records ever made, that's probably one the streets is most attached to. It's like, streets.
Yes.
Streets. Yes. Everybody in the streets know. Like the masses may not know. It's not a Not Like Us or Ether or a Takeover or No Vaseline in terms of like the notoriety, but in terms of the quality, yes, it is. Quality.
Yes, absolutely. Quality. So you got all of that going up into a much anticipated, solo effort. And he was dumping all on Jay on HNIC. You know what I mean? He was dumping on Jay heavy on HNIC. Never said Jay name, but he was talking about Jay. If you know, right? But it just, the production was the crippler for HNIC, because you had Havoc on Fuego on Murder Music, right? Murder Music to me was Havoc's magnum opus when it came to production. To me it was, because I felt like by that time he had damn near mastered it, because there's not many songs on Murder Music that we can say, man, that the production wasn't it. It was like from the beginning to the end, and they also went platinum. They went platinum, right? First time going platinum. So now you got HNIC the following year. That it didn't live up because it only went gold. When Jay saw that HNIC didn't go gold, and Coop, you probably understand this too. When Jay saw that, he was like, "Oh, you're not on my level.
Get in. I'm in.
Yep, I got you. I got you now."
I'm in.
Because before Jay wouldn't say much to Prodigy.
Because he didn't know if he could stun on him or not and get away with it.
Bingo. It's too dangerous. Prodigy was too dangerous.
How New Yorkers gonna feel about him stunting on Prodigy.
Right.
Exactly. Prodigy was too dangerous at that time.
So let's unpack this. Hold on. First of all, Sean, let me ask something. What would you rate the album?
Oh man.
Because when you because the way that you're talking, it doesn't sound like you even have it at a 4.
I don't.
And I think it's a 4.
4.
I don't. I got like a 3. I would get like a 3.7.
I think it's barely a 4 though. Like
yeah. It's barely.
Right. Like barely. Like not a strong 4. Like I'm barely giving you a 4. Like it's one of those things that it's like, well, keep it thorough elevates this project to a 4.
That is the project. That's the project. But it was also it was too many places. It was a mixtape. It was a mixtape song, and it was a lead single.
So here's what I think about let's talk about the project and where Prodigy is.
No doubt.
First of all, I don't think you can talk about Prodigy without talking about Havoc, especially around this time, because the biggest problem to me has a big Mobb Deep fan. Like a big Mobb Deep fan.
Yeah.
This album has no Mobb Deep feel to it.
It doesn't.
And that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Because it is almost like he tried to keep his street aesthetic without the mob sound. And I'm like, no, like I don't want to hear your street aesthetic without the mob sound. I want to hear you wax poetic on the mob style. Now, I don't agree with you, Sean, that Murder Music is Havoc's manifesto in terms of production. And not that it's not a stellar job, but here is why. I feel like the job of a producer, especially when it comes to beat making, is to make a beat, to make a track that fits the artist that is recording the record. And so, although on Hell on Earth, those beats are for Prodigy.
I think that's his magnum opus. As far
all those
as
beats on Hell on Earth are for Prodigy. All the beats on Hell on Earth are for Prodigy.
I'll challenge that. That's the outstation to challenge that. Yeah.
Hold on. No, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
On Murder Music, the beats are made for Prodigy to rap with other people. What HNIC needs, like those beats are made, like Havoc is making the beat. It's like, no, P need to get off on this, but I need to make sure 8 Ball get off. No. I know P can rap on this, but I need to make sure G Rap can get off on this. No. P can rap on this, but I need to make sure Ray getting off on this. No. P can rap on this, but I got to make sure Mega get off on this. We got to put Nas on our big boy shit because we having our coming out party. So like he got to rap on this. Like it feels like Havoc is a better executive producer on Murder Music to me. I don't know if the beats are more tailored to Prodigy like they are on Hell on Earth. What I was expecting HNIC to be was the beats more tailored to Prodigy Hell on Earth style. So I wasn't looking for Murder Music. I was looking for Hell on Earth Prodigy. And so for me, big disappointment. Like I was expecting the dark, eerie beats. And here's also why it was crazy to me, why I did the way it did. This is why Rough Riders was popping too. So I was expecting him maybe to go get some beats from Dame Grease, from PK, you know what I'm saying? Because X is winning with those dark, gritty beats right now, and he's winning big. And also, too, and this is going to be a knock on his career that people don't talk about. Well, Alchemist hit the mark, but he missed a lot of marks because he's not there yet on this project because he's still early in his production career. And so some of his shit is real hit and miss, and that's the problem. It's hit and miss.
That's what I was going to ask you, Coop. That's what I was going to ask you, Coop. Did you feel like it was too Alchemist? Because I felt like you were saying that without saying it. So you finally alluded to that.
Yeah, no, Alchemist didn't do a good job of producing this project. Okay. But it's because he wasn't. How about this? On The Infamous, when you go back and listen to it, you can see where Q-Tip was there for Havoc when you listen to it now. When you listen to HNIC, does it sound like Havoc was there for Alchemist, or did it sound like Prodigy wanted to go do his own thing, and maybe Hav had been drinking too much, which is some of the stories behind it, and maybe there was some division between the two, and so it's really just Prodigy and Alchemist in the studio, and Prodigy and Hav have been doing this for so long together that Hav got a way of dealing with P, and P got a way of dealing with Hav that's special, and that chemistry is a little bit more special than you realize until you're in the booth with somebody new who might be a younger version of Havoc, but not Havoc yet, and doesn't know you the way Havoc knows you, and doesn't know what levels to put your voice at the way Havoc does. Doesn't know, like, there's little things, dude. Like the way Havoc did some of those like the drops and the beats, the bass lines, even the snares on Hell on Earth are so dark and so dense. It's because he understood what to do with Prodigy's voice after the Infamous.
Yes, it's perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect fit for him. Beats like Bloodsport, Nighttime Vultures, Hell on Earth, Apostle's Warning. No, P sounds great on those beats, not just because he's great, but because the producer knows what type of beat to give the artist for the artist to give off.
Yeah, it's the perfect marriage.
Alchemist is just giving Prodigy a beat tape on HNIC, guys. It's not the same thing.
It's the perfect marriage. I do challenge you on one thing, Coop, and then I got a question for the both of you before we move on. The thing I challenge you on is about going out and getting Dane Grease beats because X was on fire at the time. A lot of people don't talk about this, but that's exactly what Nas did with Nostradamus. It's a lot of Dane Grease production on Nostradamus, and we see how that turned out. So I'm gonna just say that.
Listen to what you were saying. What Prodigy does is way closer to what X does than what Nas does. That's why.
That's fair, but it's still like just listening to it, just thinking of the beat in and of itself. Even Prodigy on those same beats.
No, Nas doesn't do the dark and the eerie thing unless it's with Havoc, actually.
Yeah, when he gets with Havoc.
When he
and
gets
the question,
that's that bridge shit. Like that's what I'm saying. It matters who you get in the ring and you box with, who you build with. Like all those things matter. And all I'm saying is for what Prodigy does, vocally and content wise, dark, eerie, moody. Like
Havoc.
But he lacked the energy that X had. It's hard to say. X energy was the thing that pushed him over the edge.
Well, how about this?
It's the bite that he had. You know what I mean?
Hold on, Sean. Let's put it on some rap shit. Where the fuck is Primo beats and the Large Pro beats and the Q-Tip beats? You feel what I'm saying? Like if you're not gonna go the dark, gloomy street route, like
but
you from Queens, my nigga. Like
but we in 2000 though.
You going to rap we going the rap route then. So
let's stay on Dane Grease for a second. You know what I'm saying? We in 2000 now. Even X wasn't going back to Dane Grease. You know what I'm saying? After the first album like that, he was messing with P Killer and Swizz Beats.
That was a mistake in my opinion. That was a mistake in my opinion. Because guess what?
Everything was changing. Think about this. What was the big shift in 2000? We started seeing the super producer era come into play.
Right.
Because now you're talking about
you're right. Neptunes, Timbo, all that. No. I hear what you're saying. But
Jay was on that way. Nori started it with the Neptunes. And Jay took it to a different level with Neptunes and Timbaland, but still keeping the Rockefeller sound as a small backdrop. This is 2000. This is the latter part of 2000. We're about to get into like really the super producer sound clash at this point. He tried that when he hit the joint with him and BG.
Yeah. But okay. See, Prodigy, but that doesn't work for Prodigy. He doesn't fit in that realm. Matter of fact, like how about this? He fits in that realm less than Jadakiss and DMX do.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes.
That's why you double down on what you got. Like that, and so HNIC is really missing the double down from Prodigy. If you really want to know the truth,
right?
He was stuck. He was stuck. Where did you go?
Like you gotta, like, how about this? HNIC needed to sound like Quiet Storm.
Hell yeah, for sure.
Aesthetically,
the whole album, facts.
And it's not, and it doesn't go down that route. And it's like,
if you don't have it, you don't have Havoc the whole album. You can't do that. You know, to your point.
But it's like that's the lane that you thrive in. That's what has you in the Nas big you know, Jay.
But artists get caught up. Like we discounting the fact that artists get caught up and they want to try something new. Refer to mobilarity. You know what I'm saying? Ray should have been rapping over all RZA beats, but everybody want to try something new. You know what I mean?
We're missing a point. They're trying.
I don't know if he should have been rapping over RZA beats after hearing the Pillage, though. Okay.
All right, Sean, what you got to say?
We're missing the point, man, because you got to keep up with the sound. If
because it was evolving. Yeah,
it was the sound was evolving like crazy. It was from 99 to 2000 was a big change.
It was like dog years, though. These were single years, but it was like dog years in the sound.
It was like dog years. Prodigy couldn't keep up with that sound.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's not supposed to, because I mean, for better or for worse, closer to Kool G Rap than LL Cool J as far as his Queen's brethren.
You're saying stay in his wheelhouse.
Kool G Rap stayed in the wheelhouse the whole time. Is Kool G Rap the star that L is?
Well, say that, Cool.
But here's the reality of the matter. In their prime, when Kool G Rap was a superior MC, he wasn't the star that L was. That's just not how the cards are dealt some fucking time.
Right.
Deal with the cards that you got dealt. This is what you do well. This is how it's going to go if you do it well. Because when we talk about Prodigy, you want to know how you know that what he did is impactful? Well, look at the Locks. Look at Griselda. Like his legacy lives on. He should have doubled down on his own self on this project.
All right. Yo, we gotta move on, but y'all hit two perfect segues. You know what I'm saying? Coop, your segue gets to a question I wanted to ask both of you, and then Sean, we're gonna get to the super producer stuff when we get into this J album. But the question I had, Coop brought up the Locks. So the question I had for both of you all, the three most notorious albums that are not classic debut solo albums from people that come from a group are Method Man's Cal, Jadakiss' Kiss the Game Goodbye, and then Prodigy HNIC. They just missed the mark on all three of those joints. So given the opportunity, one get to stay and the other two got to go, which album are you taking?
I was going to ask, why the hell is this new moderator asking all these motherfucking questions? But that's a great question.
My questions are fire, Coop. Don't hate.
Questions have been solid. This question,
he called me a hater. Coop is a real hater. Coop be hating for no reason. That's the thing.
What you got? I'll go ahead and answer. I'm biased. I'm taking Jada.
It not sound like I'm hating.
I'm taking Jada.
All right. So we got two Kiss the Game Goodbyes. What you got, Coop?
You know, as crazy as it may seem, it's actually about to be a three-peat because I actually feel like that is the best album of the three that you named.
Of the three is the closest to 4.5 out of the three.
It has the most classic songs.
Yes.
It has None of Y'all Better, Knock Yourself Out, Show Discipline, We Gonna Make It, Feel Me, Put Your Hands. It's like, no, the rest of those joints. How about this? HNIC has maybe 2 classic records on it. Cal maybe has 3. Kiss has about 5 or 6 on Kiss again.
Look at us agreeing.
No.
He just got a gun. Yeah,
Andrew, edit this and put some different words in my mouth. Make it fly. All right.
Yo, so we got to move on. The next anniversary joint we got is Jay-Z's double album, Blueprint 2, celebrating a 22-year anniversary. It was released November 12th, 2002.
22 twos? It's a lot of twos.
Yeah. So fellas, I'm gonna kick it to you, Sean. What's your no, I take that back. My bad. Let me kick it to Coop first. What's your thoughts on the Blueprint 2?
He just looked mad. You shouldn't kick it to Sean. He's just gonna hate.
Can we get the super chat real quick?
Yeah, no doubt. What we got?
You would, if your moderator would do his job.
I'm not seeing it. Sean the one that's slipping. He ain't putting it on the screen. There we go. Okay, the Raisin Head with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Who ranks the highest all time is not even close, but who ranks higher, Prime Prodigy or Prime Ghostface? I think we all would agree on that one, wouldn't we, guys?
Would we? That's tough.
No.
That's tough, man.
Prime Prodigy versus Prime Ghostface. I think the answer is Ghost.
I don't.
Okay, you got Prime P. And when you say Prime P, you mean Hell on Earth.
That's tough.
Infamous Hell on Earth Murder Music, Prime P. Yes,
okay.
Prime Prodigy, because Prime Prodigy has more legendary verses in his prime than Ghost has in his prime.
He does, but I'm gonna give it to Ghost because it's a heavier lift. because Ghost with the solo records did what Prodigy couldn't do as a soloist. We just got through talking about it. Ghost has classics as a solo artist.
I have Ghost higher all the time. Let's not get it twisted. But if you said peak, oh no, like peak Prodigy is rivaling. Like how about this? He is not the traditional lyricist that a Rakim or a Nas is, or even that a Raekwon is.
No, he's not. But
he's not. But when he is at his peak, he rivals them on the microphone. So
okay, so I'm gonna ask you this point blank question to go to Super Chat. P's mic performance on Hell on Earth or Ghost mic performances on Supreme?
P on Hell on Earth. I'm not even. It's not hesitation for me.
Okay, what you got, Sean?
That's the y'all know how I feel about Ghost.
Like Ghost don't have a Nighttime Vultures verse on. No.
But Ghost, Iron Man, and Supreme Clientele. Got a whole project.
As a solo artist, he is better. But if we're talking
shout out to whoever asked that question. That's a tough question.
Yes. Question, man.
How about
this? We just said Prodigy 95, 96.
How about this? Hold on, think about this. In 1996, even though Ghost has a solo album, Ray is rapping next to him on Iron Man just as much as Havoc is rapping next to Prodigy on Hell on Earth, and P sounds better, is a better MC in 96.
Yes.
They both
Ghost had to get to that level. Yeah, Ghost had to get there. Yeah.
But that's Prodigy at his peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all I'm saying
is Ghost didn't hit his peak till about close to Supreme.
I'm sorry, them verses on Supreme are not better than the verses on Hell on Earth, though.
I can give you that, but it's an easier lift on Hell on Earth.
The two verses on Hell on Earth, the verse on Nighttime Vultures, the Apostles' Warning verse, the Still Shining verse. No, the Drop a Gem on them verse, the Extortion verse.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you said it pretty emphatically, like it wasn't even close. Like somebody asked the question on.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not even close. It's not a
I think it's real close. I can't go either way. That's like somebody asked on Twitter the other day, the same question, but it was Prodigy, not Prodigy. It was AZ and Raekwon, and I couldn't decide. Like,
right.
You know,
I can.
Prodigy on the Infamous and on Hell on Earth. Whatever. Prodigy on the Infamous and Hell on Earth spit some of the greatest rhymes ever spit. Ever. I love Supreme. What makes Supreme special is that some albums are special for different reasons. What makes Supreme special to me is that, like, as far as worlds exist, Ghost did the most masterful job about bringing you into his world and making it understandable. The sequencing is phenomenal. The beat selection, impeccable. The bar work, supreme.
Yeah.
But in terms of all-time rhyme saying and slaying, that album is not what Supreme Clientele is known for.
Yeah, I will say this about Prodigy, and Prodigy did more with less. You know, his unorthodox style. He's not the lyricist that Ghost is, but the way he was able to put his words together and find certain pockets and the conviction in which he said things. Prodigy has a better rap voice. I think Prodigy has more intangibles that Ghost have. And I think if I'm going to give him the edge, it would go to Prodigy. I do think it's close, but Prodigy has some intangibles that the Ghost doesn't have. So
like if you're taking the prime version of them and putting them on a track together, Prodigy's going to have the better verse. That's what I'm saying. How about this?
I think so.
Think about the I Shot Ya remix. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, no. Prodigy can take it from everybody.
He had memorable jokes.
Yeah, the only realm that Prodigy can't mess with Ghost on is the storytelling.
Yep. Storytelling. I was actually thinking that. Like, Ghost is a better storyteller, but everything else like leans towards Prodigy as far as peak.
Mm-hmm.
Emotion, too. Ghost got that emotion over him right now, too.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I think P's emotion is that he has none. That's part of what makes it so cold and sunshine.
He's matter of fact.
Right. Yeah, like he's actually the opposite of Ghost. If you actually think about it, it's like where Ghost is like on 10, Prodigy's like on sub-zero. Like, rock you in your face, stab your brain.
Prodigy was a small dude, but he sold wolf tickets better than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Prodigy's a
It's
gay.
rap.
Well,
It's rap. That's what you're supposed to do. All these niggas is 5'4", except
Yeah.
for Method Man and Redman. The rest of these niggas is 5'4".
That's true.
Word.
True.
But moving on to the Blueprint 2, you know what I'm saying?
Super
We got
chats.
more? Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate y'all spending bread. The raising head again with the $5 super chat. Oh, we already had that one.
Yeah.
CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Kiss the game goodbye better than the pillage. Station head. Yes, kiss the game goodbye is better than the pillage, CJ. He tried to be funny.
When I call human resources, my main complaint is going to be inability to read the super chats. That's going to be in the email box.
Yo, I'm reading from a phone right now. Chill out. All right, the raising head with the $5 super
get
chat.
Get an iPad like I recorded the LT interview with. If you were ready for this job,
yo,
the ancillary products and devices necessary.
Listen, yo, Coop's iPad was from 98. It was Windows 98. Yo, he had the Windows 98. Yo, the raising hand with the $5 super chat. Nas and G Rap had the best verses on Murder Music with Prime Prodigy. Maybe P's first verse on Illustrious. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Quiet Storm's the best verse on that album. Who said that?
It is.
Oh no,
Hey,
I don't know,
quiet.
man. Still shirts in my chest. So what a flirt. I don't know.
No,
Nas
that's not better than I put my
nah. I ain't giving Nas that.
Man,
I'm the Quiet Storm nigga who fight rhyme. No, that's not better.
We're not, and we can't keep giving that to Nas. Nas had the best verse on all of Cuban Link. We can't give him all the Murder Music too. That's crazy.
Yes, no, who said we can't?
He definitely had the best verse on Cuban Link. Quiet Storm is the best verse.
Yeah, but Nas might have had the second or third best verse on there while you playing.
Cool G Rap's verse. No. Cool G Rap's verse on The Realist is better than Nas's verse.
Yeah, Corona Queens. Yeah.
I forgot about it. And we gonna get to Cool G, so hold that thought. Blueprint 2, double album. What y'all got to say about that? Sean, you spoke to the super producers. Was it too bloated, the production? Because we're coming off the cohesive Blueprint 1 to a bloated double album with a lot of different producers, and it didn't feel as as tight on the production, in my opinion. So what do you got to say to that?
My question is for y'all. Like, what do y'all hold this album? Before I throw any spew or anything at it,
Okay, I have plenty to say. The production's horrible. Okay.
I'm trying to.
This is actually probably his worst beat selection album, as far as like at his peak, has in his first prime, has in everything up until Blueprint 3. I think this is the worst selection of beats. This and Kingdom Come. AG, you want to jump in? Put your finger up like you had. No.
I was just saying, excuse me for one moment. Keep cooking, Coop.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that this is his worst selection of beats. It makes me feel like he was scrambling to put a product together about what had happened to him in the battle. There's just a lot about this album that feels rushed, that feels forced. And I'm bringing that up because the thing about Jay is his cool pose. And cool pose is a real thing. It's something that's actually talked about in the African American diaspora. But Jay is somebody that would actually fit the motif of cool pose and the archetype of it, but in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What makes him great is the cool and effortless nature with which he speaks and delivers things. I always go to imaginary players. And now you got these young cats acting like they slum cats, all in their dumb raps, talking about how they fun stack. When I see them in the streets, I don't see none of that. Damn, Playboy. Like, you hear how he's talking cool, effortless, smooth.
Right.
He is rapping on the Blueprint 2 like he has a point to prove. And what I've found about him is that he's better when he does that in spurts than when he does that for a whole project, because when he does that for a whole project, it really takes away from what he's best at, which is keeping his cool. Like, he's the cool guy in the room. He's the charismatic guy in the room. He's the guy that puts other cats up on game and they want to watch and follow and do what he does. On this album, it feels like he's playing catch up because he lost the battle, and he doesn't do well at playing catch up. And so the beat selection is inconsistent and bad, in my opinion. The rapping is at a very, very high level, but sounds forced, like he is trying to prove a point that he is the best rapper ever and the best rapper in the game. And that's what happens when you get ethered. And overall, it's just a solid project. There are some moments that I like. Most of the moments that I like are entailed in the rapping. Like the rapping on Hovey Baby is phenomenal. The beat is fucking terrible. And that is really my synopsis of the album. The whole second half, the whole second disc is forgettable outside of a few records. Somehow, some way, Meet the Parents, a couple other joints. The whole second half of the project is forgettable. There's stuff that doesn't even fit this song. Like All Around the World is a song. It's like, well, I like the record. Where does it fit in this album? Starting off with the Is It All a Dream thing. You know what I'm saying? Felt like he had a point to prove.
He said jealousy. I said,
I know that joint.
Got the whole industry mad at me. I said, he said what I said had been said before. Just keep doing your thing, Playboy. Say no more. No, it felt like he had a point to prove. It's like, oh, you don't make that record if that guy on that record doesn't point out how you keep using that guy's records. So now you're gonna double down on it and use some more.
Double down.
Like no. I still get to do this, and so it just felt forced to me. And he's not at his best when he feels forced. It's at his best when it's organic. Even when he's doing like his top level rhyme shit, it feels better when it feels natural. Too much West Coast dick licking and too many niggas on a mission doing your best Jay-Z rendition. Too many rough motherfuckers. I got my suspicions that you're just a pool and a fool of sharks, nigga. Listen, too many bitches want to be ladies. So if you a hoe, I'm going to call you a hoe. Too many bitches are shady. Too many ladies give these niggas too many chances. Too many brothers want to be lovers, don't know what romance is. When he is rapping like that, that's when he's at his best, because he is saying it so cool and so smooth. You want to rap it too and embody it, and it stays with you. I haven't listened to 22 Twos in years, motherfucker, and I still know the words.
What does that have to do with BP2?
Huh?
He's far removed from that at Blueprint too.
Yeah. What are you talking about? What does that have to do with BP2?
No, what I'm saying is his rhyme style on this album. No. What I'm saying is, if you had been paying attention, instead of just
because you drifting off in the sunset. Let's talk about
I'm talking about his rhyme style and what makes his rhyme style effective and what makes it memorable. And I'm bringing up 22 Twos to say, well, no, that is so memorable. There's nothing memorable about the stuff that he is rapping on Blueprint 2, even though it's high level. Well, you're a fucking hater. We know you hate it anyway, so we're gonna let you in. I see it's time for me to stop talking. It's time for me to stop talking. It's time for me to stop talking so you can hate. Go ahead.
Listen, I will say,
try not to miss the super chat. I'm calling HR. Taj, Andrew.
Listen. I will disagree with you.
Emails coming in the morning from Coop.
I from the Windows 98. I agree with everything. I agree with everything Coop said, with the exception of Hovey Baby. That's a hard beat to rap over. I think Jay did one of the better displays of flow on that song. I think he did his thing. But I'm gonna ask y'all this, then we got to move on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Low. I saw Low tweet the other day. You know what I'm saying? He's a resident Jay-Z fan. You know, so Low tweeted that if Blueprint 2 on Anniversary, if it was cut down to 13 tracks, it would be another Jay-Z classic. So my question.
Hold on, AG, cut down from the 35 tracks that's on there, so we just got to shave 20 tracks off. I can say the same thing about Donda. I can say the same thing about all of them. Here's the irony. Here's the irony. Jay literally did that. For those of you, some of you might not remember, he had the Blueprint 2.1 release a few months later, where he did take 12 what he thought was the best 12 songs on the album, and he did throw a dope bonus track on there. La 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 from the Bad Boy soundtrack is dope. He used the soundtrack formula, and he had another bonus track, Stop. So he had it down to 14 tracks, and it still wasn't a classic. So I just wanted to throw that out there and shout out Low, because he was wrong. So, first of all, you know what it is? I realized where Sean gets his album. Jay-Z is like Sean on the Blueprint.
I mean, his name is Sean. His name is also Sean.
I really don't like y'all.
Definitely Sean's fault.
I really don't like
Sean. Definitely Sean's fault. First of all, his name is Sean. Like the other guy's name is Sean.
Yo, so moving on because this Blueprint 2 talk is not productive. We're gonna go into an actual.
Time out. I can't say my piece about Blueprint 2. Y'all just wax poetic around it. Y'all talk around it. Coop gave us a soliloquy.
Hey, he didn't speak. I thought he spoke.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and hate, Shaw. Go ahead. But it's within reason.
Is the mic on?
Is the mic on, nigga?
Y'all missed the whole purpose of Blueprint 2 Anniversary.
Okay, take the floor. The floor is yours.
I don't even want the floor no more. Because Coop's about 22.
Ask for the floor.
All right, my bad.
2 minutes asking for the floor.
My bad. Listen, let's keep it a buck, man. Blueprint 2, Jay never saw a loss like this. He just came off a high for Blueprint 1. Blueprint 1 was by far Jay's home run hit. He brought everybody in from the bases. The biggest problem with Blueprint 2 is that Jay was so rattled after Ether, he rushed out to put together an album. He was all over the place. He tried to come up with a commercial song. He tried to come up with a concept song. He tried to come up with a song with Beyonce. He tried to do every single thing except do what Jay does best, because Jay could not talk that braggadocious style anymore. He just took a major L. He was not coping with that major L well. Damn the whole talk about 22 Tools and what he did on Reasonable Doubt and Volume 1 and all that stuff what Coop was talking about. Let's talk about Jay in a moment, because at the end of the day, he still was the biggest artist in hip-hop at that time. He has never
all of that
taken a loss at all. He was on fire from year to year, from 96 up until that
7 straight years, yeah.
7 straight years. What happened with Blueprint?
Critics might not admit it, but nobody in rap did it quite like I did it.
Right, he was doing his thing. What happened with Jay in that moment was the fact that everyone that was in that room that he was trying to get off. Shout out to Philly, because Philly was part of this project. Shout out to all of those.
Philly provided the inspiration for all these projects.
Bingo. This album was so chopped up. It sounded like you had the aesthetics of the Young Guns. You had Jay rapping like he was on what's the name of the movie that came out that year? The Old Behave, like that corny shit.
Oh, come on, bro. That shit was whack. Blueprint, that was on Austin Powers.
Yeah, Cool.
OVA.
Right? He's rattled. He's rattled by this time. Nas eloquently dropped Godson. He's dropping Blueprint 2. He's all over the place at this time. He couldn't get it together. And although the HVO joint, HOV joint was dope, he killed it with the actual chorus. So,
the Blueprint 2. Yeah, the bars was dope, but the chorus was too corny.
It was
one of the better records, and that's one of the better records on there.
Yeah,
exactly. It was a proper response. Now it's like, yo, that's the response you're supposed to have against me. That's the response.
But he ruined it with the hook.
Bar wise, it's a dope response. Can't you see that he's fake? The rap versions of TD Jakes prophesizing on your CDs and tapes.
He was whining, but he was whining on that. He was whining all over that.
No, he's crying. He's crying. He's crying on the whole album. The same way you be crying when I be winning all these arguments. That's why the comparison is so valid. And it's good to hear you say it out loud.
You not winning the argument. You trying to revert it because you're talking about 22 tools. You talking about Blueprint 2. I can understand 2.
So you saying Coop got the wrong 2?
He got the wrong 2. You know what I mean? He like, yeah, he got 22 tools, and then he start doing the rap. Yeah, 22 in the box and 22. I'm like, nah, dude, stay on Blueprint 2, Cool.
Yeah. But before we gotta move on.
You want to stay hating on Jay. That's why you want to stay on Blueprint 2. Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yo, AG, we're not gonna get sponsorship with this guy doing that.
Before we move on, quick thoughts. You brought up the Beyonce single. It caused a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? The Tupac, Me and My Girlfriend sample and all that.
Oh, that.
What's your questions on? I mean, what's your answer on the question? How do you feel about him taking that song from Kanye, because that was Kanye's record first?
Of course.
Sounds like some shit to do. What you mean? That's what he does.
Give me that.
Like, right.
That was news to me when I watched the Genius documentary. I was like, damn, that was Ye's record first. He was wild. He was performing it in front of Dave and a bunch of people, and nobody's paying attention to him. Kanye rapping his heart out. Nobody listening.
This nigga done took more records from black artists than fucking Berry Gordy. All right, like,
yeah.
Facts.
So let's go on to the next. It's actually a great album. You know what I'm saying? Where we could put most of the hate to bed. Is this album right here, celebrating the anniversary.
I want to let you all know, when I talk to human resources, the main two things I'm talking about are the moderator and the person controlling the boards. That's you two niggas. The moderator be like in the email, show problems, moderator, board control.
You don't be a snitch, Coop.
I'm already telling you I'm snitching.
Coop a tattletale, man.
Right now, calling human resources first thing in the morning. Nigga, I'm gonna be up at 6:55 because human resources open at 7. 6:55. Type my email up. Email be done by 6:59. 7:03, I'm gonna get a phone call telling on both you niggas.
You'll get the boom, boom, boom. We're sorry. This number
disconnected.
C did the kid with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. So by proxy, Hell on Earth is better than Supreme. I mean, it's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
That's comparable. I might lean on Supreme though.
Supreme.
Cam Porter with the $2 super chat.
Supreme sounds special.
Yeah, it does. Cam Porter with the $2 super chat. Blueprint 2 is to Jay what Scorpion is to Drake. Oh, that's a good analogy.
Yeah,
because Drake just come off the loss too. Yeah, that's a great point. Hell of a point. Joe Young with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. What's up, my peoples? My favorite Form 2002 album could be Scarface The Fix. It was a classic. Blueprint 2. I always say if it was only one album, it's the best. Coop, you know, King Hove owns November. Love. He did put it down to one album. Yeah, he literally did that.
And it's still it's
not great.
Submit.
It's not good.
No, call it what it is. He put it down to one and it's still submit. Somebody need to tell Low. Be like, Low, they made that one album and it was still submit.
Yeah, I just did. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling HR and telling them you're not paying attention. raise your hand with the $5 super chat.
You can't call human resources on me for having ADD.
I'll put glasses on like Coop.
No, time out. Coop just said I can't call human resources on him because he got a disability. That's wild.
That's crazy.
He said he got ADD, so I can't say nothing.
Actually fire you for picking on the disabled person.
That is crazy, Coop. Yo, that's wild. Yo, the raise hand with the $5 super chat.
I work at the airport. Trust me, nigga. Trust me.
Coop be dazing off while you want me to go over the carousel.
You know. Look. When I walk through my job, at the airport now, they be like, "Nigga, they let you back in here." It's be like, "Well, technically, I was fired." They be like, "How did you make this happen?" They be like, "You are not allowed back in here." I'll be like, "Hey,
this is nasty."
Hey.
No, man. That's why they allow you on traffic control. You be drifting off.
The EEOC said I could come back in here.
Oh man, that is wild. The razor head with a $5 super chat. Every hip hop double album is overrated. All would have been better as a single disc. Jay only had one true classic before Blueprint, and that is Reasonable Doubt. I don't think all double albums are overrated, but moving on. Jay Young with the $2 super chat. You correct, Adriel. He did do that too. Point one wasn't good. Was not. So moving on.
This is how bad the Blueprint 2 was. He tried to make it into a good album. He still tried to make it into a good album.
You telling on yourself when you do that, essentially. Yeah, you know. But he did blame it on the team. He said it was everybody at Rockefeller that made him do that. He did blame it on everybody around.
No. You want to know what this album really sounds like? It sounds like Dame ain't helping your ass no more because you on that bullshit. All right, next.
But next.
Another one came up. I'm sorry, guys. This is good. This is a good thing, right?
More super chat. Appreciate you. $5 super chat.
Negligent moderator.
Jay still talking braggadocious on Blueprint 2. Only two in heaven can be mentioned in the same breath as him. This is after Nas mutilated his soul. Word. Yeah. He was trying to convince himself. But let's be more respectful. Put some respect on this classic right here. The Black Album.
Hold on.
Solidified as his third best.
Did we pick, what was the bar seminar? Did we pick my shit? Did we pick
Yeah.
Okay, because if not, I was calling HR about that shit too. It's like, how we going to have this big talk and be picking AG shit for the bar seminar? I was just making sure That's okay. I'm gonna take that off the list. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab my pen.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Airport tomorrow, but like, yo, man, I think this kid over there stealing the extra peanuts and everything off the line. He's stealing the Biscoff cookies.
First of all, I got the Biscoff and I got the Biscoff butter. All right, I got the
Who
plug.
said I couldn't report him because he on the spectrum? That's crazy.
Holla at me. Holla at me. All right. Get that Biscoff.
Wow.
I got that Biscoff and that Biscoff cookie butter for the low. Okay.
Yo, but thoughts on the Black album? Do y'all both have it third? You know, solidifies his third best.
In a lot of ways, it's his second best album, AG.
Okay.
When people talk about the Blueprint, people are talking about how the album feels.
Yes.
We're actually pulling out and going song for song. The Black Album is actually his second best album if we're going song for song.
He's a better rapper on the Black Album than he is on the Blueprint.
I don't know if he's a better rapper. He's got a better delivery and pocket of flows.
Mm-hmm.
Like the versatility. How about this? The Blueprint, and people don't talk about this much. The Blueprint, because I think he recorded so much of it in a few sessions. Well, flow-wise and delivery-wise, it is frighteningly the same, which is strange coming from him because other than Big and Pac, nobody really switched up their flow as much as Jay switches up his flow. The flows on the Blueprint, oh no, he's not really vacillating that much. He only goes into about 4 different pockets of flows. Mm-hmm. Jay going into 4 different, how about this? Your average MC going into 4 different pockets of flows, legendary. Jay going into 4 different pockets of flows, just all right. The pockets of flows on the Black Album, guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has different flows and different deliveries, sometimes within the same song. I mean, he pulled out all his flows on the Black Album, is what I'm saying.
He sure did.
So the Black Album as a mic performance is actually a better album. In terms of classic song nature, actually has more classic songs. What it lacks is the cohesion and classic feel that the Blueprint has.
But the production is comparable, but it just doesn't come together. It doesn't mix in the pot like gumbo as good as Blueprint does.
The sequencing is not as good as the sequencing on the Blueprint.
Right. I would change quite a few things in the sequencing, actually.
And the feel of the album. Feels of albums matter. So when CJ's asking, well, Hell on Earth is supreme, it's like, no, like, I actually think the beats on Hell on Earth might be better. I think the rhymes might actually be better, but Supreme feels better to listen to. And that matters when listening to an album. So I tell you that if it's third, it's third by like, because in a lot of ways it's better than the Blueprint.
Lyrics, I like that you brought up. I like that you brought up the sequencing though, because that's one of my takes. Like, I think What More Can I Say should be the last song.
Should be it's the biggest problem with the album. No, I don't have a problem with What More Can I Say not being the last song, because my first song I think is an appropriate ending. But if you're gonna do a song like my first song, I actually think you could have kept December 4th and just started off with What More Can I Say.
That's fair.
Imagine it going into that doo-doo, and then the first thing you hear is never been a nigga this good for this long, this hood, this hot, this pop, this strong. Oh, the album starting off like that? That's a way better start off than December 4th. So I would submit to you that What More Can I Say should start off the album, and you can keep December 4th for the mixtapes or for Jay's personal collection, because although a good story, one of the weaker songs on the album, but on a great album. So saying it's one of the weaker songs on a great album, it's like there's only 2 songs. It's like Moment of Clarity and Justify My Thugs are the only songs that are weaker than December 4th.
Yeah, there's skips on there, but I still think that the album has a classic feel. Like you talked about, Coop, is all about the feel of the album. Man, those are a couple skips, but still a classic feel throughout. Sean, I'm gonna let you go last because I know you got a lot to say on this topic. I think the album's a classic, but the only complaint that I would have about the album, and I said this in real time, I thought it was phenomenal production, phenomenal rapping. I just didn't like Jay-Z's tone on the album. Y'all said he was crying on the Blueprint too, but I think it was more so evident here on the Black Album. You know what I'm saying? Where he says, you know, if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is black. Maybe you love me when I fade to black. You know what I'm saying? And then talking about we'll see what happens when I no longer exist. You know what I mean? It's almost like he was threatening his retirement. Like, y'all don't love me and appreciate me. You said the other guy was better. So it was on some like, I'm going to quit and I'm going to take my ball and go home type shit. That's how I looked at it at the time.
I hear what you're saying, AG. And Sean, I don't mean to cut you short because I want you to jump in. I'm actually fascinated by what you have to say. AG, what I would submit to you is that not all cries are built the same.
Correct.
So on the Blueprint 2, it kind of feels like, nigga, you just crying because you got your ass beat. All right? Like, you just crying because you got your ass whooped and you're not used to getting your ass whooped. The rest of us done had our ass whooped before. You're going to have to deal with it like the rest of us and move on, nigga.
I personally never have, but...
Okay, first of all, you haven't been in many fights as Coop. Okay?
Oh, no, I'm undefeated. For the record.
Yeah, I like the record.
I've put people to sleep before, so speak for yourself, Coop.
Take your 7-0 record. Okay, well, me, I've been in a lot of fights.
And you know what? I believe it, Coop. I totally believe it. I bet your mom got you in a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble. I'd say me and my big mouth. That's a lot.
Right.
So I haven't won every fight I've been in, and I don't walk around like I'm some nigga that's won every fight that I've been in either. I hate those niggas, AG.
Guilty.
Anyway,
you report that to H2 also.
Anyway, yeah. Niggas never took an L. They don't know what it's like. But what I'm saying is that Jay-Z comes off as somebody that took an L on the Blueprint 2 and doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
The shit that he's talking on the Black Album, it's a complaint, but it's more of a complaint about him being the victim of his level of success.
No doubt.
And I don't mind that complaint as much. I mind the complaint. I mind you complaining when you just got your ass whooped. Do what you do. See, he didn't know what to do. The rest of us have had our ass whooped before. We just went and fought the nigga again until we won. He don't know what that's like.
But you're missing the key caveat, like threatening to retire and no longer be. When we knew that was cap, he came back the next year.
He threatened to retire because 50 was taking over the game and his ego couldn't take it. That's my take on that. Like, plain and simple. It's that simple. 50 was taking New York. He could hear, see, and watch 50 taking New York, and he didn't deal with it like an OG did. I don't think Nas dealt with it well either, because saying hip-hop is dead isn't the way to fucking go either. So I don't think either one of them dealt with 50's comeuppance well, just truthfully for me personally. But this Black Album, the shit that he talks, where he complains, it sounds like a man that's more in an established place and resting on his laurels and trying to elevate somewhere than it is a guy complaining about getting his ass whooped. So I don't mind the complaints on the Black Album. They actually are entertaining to me because it's like, it makes you realize, oh no, the shit that he talking at that point that he was talking it, he was the only person that was existing in that space. And so the perspective is sincere and very hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? He was the only person existing in that space. So when he's talking about what he saw, never been a nigga this good for this long. It's one of those things when he's saying it, it's like, well, hold on. It's like, oh, he's got a point. He might be right when he's saying that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got the hottest chick in the game. Where am I to check? It's like, oh, he might be right when he's saying a lot of shit that he's talking on this album is valid. And I like the fact that he got back in his rapping ass rapper bag on this album. And so
that's right. What you got, Sean?
Y'all finished? Y'all good?
Oh God.
I'm just asking y'all. No, I'm not.
Well,
go ahead. I would.
You got it. Queens get them. Please don't do it.
Well, take them through the Renaissance.
Renaissance. It's the Rock, man. You know what I mean? Turn it upside down. It's
no, don't do it. Don't do that. He's not Styles P.
See, starts already.
My bad. No. Real talk. The Black Album, I don't have it as a classic personally. Whoa. I can appreciate someone saying it's a classic.
Not a classic.
Not to me.
You don't think the Black Album's a classic?
Not to me. That's to me. I can appreciate you all saying that it's a classic.
New levels.
Yeah, but it's not to me. I felt like the Black Album. The weird thing about the Black Album was the fact that Jay talked about his retirement, right? And
I can't.
What came out in February 2003? 50, right? Get Rich or Die Trying.
I can't with you. You don't think the Black Album's a classic?
It's my opinion.
Let him get his point off, Coop.
all the wild shit that I've heard.
It's my
Go
opinion.
ahead. No. I want to hear you rationalize the Black Album not
opinion.
being a classic. This is
You're not qualified to go against my opinion. It's all I'm saying is, to me, it wasn't a classic. I can appreciate anyone saying that it's a classic. I can appreciate you all saying it's a classic. What I'm saying is, we got to stop calling everything a classic first and foremost. That's a different conversation, different day.
This ain't everything. This is the Black Album by Jay-Z, Sean. This ain't everything.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's the Black Album by Jay-Z, and it's still, to me, not a classic. But like I was saying, the thing about this album, the draw to this album was to talk about him retiring. That was the draw to this album, right? And we lined up for it. You're talking about the era, renaissance, if you will, of hip hop was shifting. 2003 was a shift in hip hop completely, and Jay rounded out with the Black Album. The reason why I think the Black Album is very important, again, to me, I don't hold it as high as a classic, but I hold it higher in importance, because to me it was the closing chapter of New York hip hop renaissance, because from the early 90s up until 2003, New York was the cornerstone of hip hop, the lead dog of hip hop. When you start thinking about what the Black Album was doing, it was shifting everything, and it pretty much put everything like in a capsule for New York. Because after that, we went into the whole, the Atlanta, the South rising. You got everything going into to the 50 Cent wave, which was a little bit different, because it really wasn't so much as a New York thing. It was just a New York Queens guy that was actually coming through with a West Coast feel and a West Coast aesthetic. Even though
a little bit of South too,
a bit of South
and a
too.
Southern accent,
and a Southern draw, and all of that. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, I'm giving the props to the Black Album, right? I'm saying that this album, to me, it captured the last renaissance of New York hip hop in its true essence, its true form. And I'm appreciative of Jay being able to do that, to round it out, because the years of, that came after that, now you're talking about, the South coming. You're talking about Kanye coming. You're talking about a total shift where the landscape is no longer New York, in New York's possession. It's everywhere now, because you got The Game, who came out with a phenomenal album a couple of years after that. You're talking about Kanye Ascension, who actually leapfrogged Jay, if you want to be completely honest about it, in that time frame. So now music is changing, and New York is no longer at the forefront. So to me, when I heard the Black Album, and I'm looking back in hindsight at that time, I'm like, okay, this was the end of the New York Renaissance, and the Black Album was the last album that represented the Renaissance of New York. So again,
now I'm seeing the vision, Sean. I'm seeing where you're taking it, but I still don't. I'm still missing where.
Are you? Maybe I need to get a stronger prescription, because I don't see shit Sean is saying.
But if you're holding it in that high regard,
I'm holding it high. I'm still holding it.
But it's not a classic.
To me, it's not, because I think
so. So is it that classic moment, but not classic album discussion? Is that what you're saying?
That's how I feel about it, because I don't have it over Blueprint. Personally, I feel that Blueprint, moment, classic, all of that. To me, Blueprint is a true classic. That album, to me, with the exception of one joint on there that should not been on there. That's the what is it? The
Jigga joint.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been on
Track
there.
Masters. Yeah.
Track Master joint. That shouldn't have been on there. Reasonable Doubt. It's not on the level of Reasonable Doubt. It's not on the level of Blueprint.
Steve Stout punk ass snuck his way into the session.
He messed it up. So
he left the non-session. He left the non-session, went to a J session. It's very strange.
If y'all saying that it's parallel with Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt, you're saying the Black Album is parallel to those. I don't see it that way. I see it one notch below both of those albums. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you something. Hold on. With you saying that and stating your opinion as it is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What's the best mic performance on the Blueprint? For a song, not a verse, but for a song. What's the best mic performance?
You don't know?
Okay. You think you don't know is the best mic performance?
Yes.
So as far as mic performances are concerned,
yeah.
And I agree with you because I believe You Don't Know and Lyrical Exercise are the two best mic performances on there. I would actually take Lyrical Exercise first.
Yeah.
But
I personally take All I Need, but
All I Need is my favorite song on the Blueprint. So I'm with you on that in terms of completion of thought.
Yeah.
You don't think that lyrically speaking, You Don't Know is a closer fit and comp on the Black Album than on the Blueprint as far as the bar work?
Absolutely.
I do. I think the bar work on You Don't Know and Lyrical Exercise specifically is more Black Album inclined than Blueprint inclined.
But that wasn't the intent. The intent for Blueprint was to be an easy listening album. That's why Blueprint is one of the most quotable albums under Jay's catalog because it's easy listening.
How about this?
Because of that.
Okay, so let me submit something to you. What if I told you that we were doing a verses with Jay? And everybody wants to pick Nas. No. Let's say he has to go up against Snoop or Tupac. What records from the Blueprint are you pulling out? Because that's my thing with the Blueprint and why I say, well, it's his second best album. But if you want to put it at 3, you can. Because actually, Sean, and this is just my take on the Blueprint. Well, the stuff on there that's classic is classic. But the stuff that's not is not. And the Black Album has just as many classic songs, if not more classic songs in the Blueprint, and it has more good songs in the Blueprint.
The Black Album has songs that's more of a hit feel to them than what the Blueprint.
I disagree. I think the production gap between Blueprint and Black Album is wide. It's a wide gap between the production. The production on Blueprint is better than the production on the Black Album.
No. It's more cohesive. I don't know if it's better. That's what
it came together better, but it's very comparable as far as the actual beat.
Right.
Yes. So okay, let's go down then.
Hold on. Where do you have the Black Album in his catalog, man? Is it third?
I have a third.
So you're just saying he has 2 classics and not 3?
Yes, I said 2.
Right. So you think there's a gap? Hold on.
2 and a possible.
You think there's a gap between the Blueprint and the Black Album?
I'm talking
about
what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Total body. I don't think there's a gap. I think they're on the same level.
I think it's a gap. I think it's total body. And again, I get what you're saying. Lyrically, he's going crazy on the Black Album.
So how about
style-wise, he gets style points on the Black Album because he's back in his confident ways. He's confident again on the Black Album.
The version of himself that we love the most.
How about this? Where is the 99 Problems on the Blueprint? And listen to what I'm saying. Where's the 99 Problems? Where's the guy who's confident with the bravado meets the lyricist and tells the story and uses the entendres and is still entertaining and charismatic? Like, he's doing a lot of shit on the Black Album. He is
doing a lot. He's doing a lot.
And I mean that. I mean that in terms of how he is performing on the mic. It is one of the better mic performers. Like, how about this? The Black Album might be a top 20 mic performance all time. Like top 20. Like, I know Reasonable Doubt is a top 10 mic performance in my opinion, but you could argue that the Black Album, like on the mic, top 20, top 25, he's like that on the mic. You know the type, loud as a motorbike, but wouldn't bust a grape in the fruit fight. The only thing is going to happen is I'm going to get the clapping, and he and his boys going to be yapping to the capping. And there, like, when he's rapping like that, dude, it is like, oh.
It's all great. I'm be honest, it's all great. He left it all in the field on the Black Album. I just feel like if I'm going to compare it to Reasonable Doubt, it falls short of Reasonable Doubt. It falls short of Blueprint. That doesn't mean that it's not a phenomenal album. Straight up. I mean,
I don't know too many people that don't think it's a classic, Sean. I mean,
I hear that a lot. I always went against that. I just felt like some songs on there just, to me, wasn't riding for me.
I think it's the premise of it, what Sean is talking about. Like, the whole premise behind the album was him retiring, and even if he wasn't, so, even if he was pump faking on the retirement, it's like a player doing their farewell tour, and they have a hell of a seed. They have a hell of a season. People ain't guarding them as tight, letting them drop like 40, 50 points in the game because they're like, yo, we want them to, you know what I'm saying, go out riding to the sunset. And then, you know what I'm saying, the next season they decide to come back anyway. So you was kind of pump fake. I think that's taken away from the classic feel for you, Sean, because you're looking at the whole album is predicated behind, you know, him stepping away from the game. So he's doing crazy bar work, but you think it's like veiled in something that's like a farce is
It's
what you're getting at.
It's a lot going on around it. Again, my debate is not to debate y'all to say you're wrong for saying it's a classic. That's not my debate.
No, I'm asking you because I'm trying to understand it. Like, is that what your problem with it is?
Somewhat.
Like, we know he's a hustler.
Yeah.
Like, we know. So it's like those things you were explaining, Sean. It's like, oh no, I know that he is a hustler.
We got it. We get you.
He will lie to his business partner in a heartbeat and go and take the name and take the album and take everything and make the other guy look like the other guy is crazy. He will do that. So it's like, yeah, of course, we're not talking about if we should trust this nigga. Of course, we don't trust this nigga. You see how this nigga move? I don't trust this nigga.
We don't trust you, but we got
his ass off. He be rapping his
ass,
especially on the Black Album.
But here's the thing. Fellas.
That is a rapping ass nigga on the Black Album. Okay?
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm just saying, me personally, even if someone tells me, yo, the Black Album is a classic album, okay, that's your opinion. I get you. I won't argue that because I don't have an argument for it. I'm just saying, for me, my rubric that I use.
No, the way that you were explaining it, you feel the way about the Black Album the way that I feel about Tribe's first album. It's like, oh no, I know it's great. And if you call it a classic, you can call it a classic. But when people say they have 3 classics, I'd be like, it's like, I know they got 2. Yeah. I know they got 2 for sure. And for you, your 2 for sure is Reasonable Doubt in the Blueprint.
Yeah. He acknowledged.
Even though you understand why other people call it a classic. I'm that way about Tribe's first album.
Yeah, he said the possible. He acknowledged it, but we really got to move on. So Jay-Z is evidently, you know, the king of dropping joints in November. He's the fourth quarter guy. November, December releases. Jay-Z owns that.
Fourth quarter Hove and give him a new nickname, guys. Fourth quarter Hove.
We got any super chats before we go on to the next thing?
We have several.
Okay, Jay Young with the $10 super chat. Oh, we already read that one.
To moderate the show. Where'd you find this guy, Sean?
Yo, I don't see him until Sean put him up there, Coop. So, I mean,
so you're saying there's poor production going on too, man? Wait till Human Resources gets a hand of you 2 niggas on Monday morning.
He's using a phone. He doesn't even have a laptop. He does.
CJ
with doing this because you know HR is not going to respond to my call on Friday, and I'm not going to get a response.
I do know that. CJ with the $5 super chat. Jay still talk braggadocio on Blueprint. Oh, we already read this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. CJ the kid with the $5 super chat. November 14th. 3 from my generation is what November 9th, 93 was for you guys. On that day, we got the Black Album and Beg for Mercy on the same day. And we didn't even talk about Beg for Mercy, but that's a solid album from the G Unit crew. Absolutely. But
Black Album superior.
But we got to handle some business after this super chat from 007. Appreciate it. Blueprint is a classic. Jay-Z, not a classic album. The Black Album is better and is a classic. We had this convo, Coop, when we were comparing to Stillmatic. Coop, do you recall that?
I can neither nor confirm nor deny that this conversation took place. See, all conversations with 007 are sealed.
Or confidential.
I mean, he doesn't remember.
All conversations with 007 are sealed. They're confidential. You can neither confirm nor deny these things.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't remember?
Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. Sean, you're saying Black Album isn't a classic. Do you consider KD3 and Magic classics? What about Life is Good?
Ooh.
Michael, first of all, you can go to hell. I'm just kidding. No, that's a question.
Whoa.
No, yeah. I didn't know y'all love Jay like that much. KD3 is a classic. Magic is a classic. Life is Good is a classic. Queens Get the Money. Next question.
Okay.
Yo, Jay Young with the $10 super chat. Great show. The Black Album is great. 5 mic performance. Hove is killing them with Threats is high MC performance. It outsold G Unit album that year's songs. Then the Black Album, a lot of people hold this album high perfectly like Mike.
And I had no problems with that.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, we got another one. My man, shout out to Uncle Fran with the super chat. My man Sean going hard for Queens. Only hardcore Nas fans from Queens can find a way to not see the Black Album as a classic.
Hard.
This is true.
Would you expect anything less?
Like you got your Queens Day shirt on right now.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah, Michael Williams.
You got your Queens Day shirt on, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, it is rough.
Michael Williams following up. He said, "Sean, haven't you spoken about how Magic 3 can become a classic in the future? So that basically means Magic 3 can be better than the Black Album? No way."
Yes, way. Queens get the money.
Sean about to look here, man. Sean about to do his award tour through Queens. He about to shoot dice in Left Rack, go record a verse in the Bridge. So dope in Corona. This is some bullshit.
So speaking of Queens get the money, we have some unfinished business from our last show. We got YouTube, you know what I'm saying, cut us off, you know what I mean? Hopefully they don't do that tonight. You know, shout out to YouTube.
Can I talk to the people at YouTube right quick, AG?
No, we ain't got time. So
isn't it enough? Isn't it enough that you take 30%?
Yo, so move it on. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to get demonetized. They already cut our show off.
You take 30% of our money. You gonna cut us off, motherfucker?
We did a KD show last time, and on KD3 actually, and we were going through it track for track, and we were almost finishing up. So we had a few more tracks to get through because the fans were asking for it. Where was the rest of that content? So we want to give that to them tonight. We left off actually, Coop, you were waxing poetic about WTF SMH and Nas and the his socioeconomic like messaging on the second verse and the production of that song when our stream cut off. So you want to pick it up there?
Yes, so that's a consistent theme for him as an artist. I was going back and listening to just a couple of his records that were pulling up randomly. Nas tends to close songs out, and this is one of those things, and you have to understand it. When somebody has repeated habits, it's a reflection of what their consciousness looks like. And so one of the things that he always discusses that I believe is effortless for him is the socioeconomic status of blacks. Mm-hmm. It is one of those things that comes with ease for him. Like I believe his ability to discuss the socioeconomic status of black people in America in terms of his ability is only superseded by his storytelling ability and his nostalgic ability, which I feel like is tied into the storytelling. So when he talks socioeconomics, he's gifted. Like, how about this? Y'all know this record. Remember the third verse on Where Y'all At?
I love that verse. Yeah.
That's the language of our Latin ancestors on the back of a sign, the dollar. You get what I'm saying? So he talks that shit effortlessly. WTFSMH is the concentrated effort of it. Like, you're going to get that out of him inherently on an album. Like when he says on At the End of Legit, have your own, come up with a name, start a business. It's like, that's great. Brunch on Sunday, hip hop talks. Thanks, nigga. Shout out to Taj. It's like, take your name. It's like, how about this? I'm going to take the name of one of your songs, nigga. I'm paying attention and listening. Got one of your songs, nigga. It's a whole fucking podcast now. Take that.
I don't even understand.
But those are the things that he stresses. And so what I like about WTF-SMH is that he is actually talking about the socioeconomic status of us as black people. He talks about how he's helping the process, but he also talks about how he's being torn down through the process. And he also talks about how we tear down others on their comeuppance through the process. And about those things, I feel like it's the best verse on the album because it's him in his effortless wheelhouse.
Yeah. Community love providing jobs. Why would you try to come for me? Why you ain't proud of Nas? You know what I'm saying?
My favorite bars on the album because you want to know what? It's a relevant question to ask. Like, think about all the empowering things this black man has done for not just his community, because obviously the focus is Queens. We know the focus is Queens.
Mm-hmm.
We are all sitting here together because he employed a woman for Queens that eventually brought us all together. So we know the power of what he does. Think about that, guys. Does Hip Hop Talks exist if he does not employ this young woman for Queens?
Right.
Right.
I appear courtesy of myself.
Nobody asked you that,
Cannabis.
Sean. Can you stay on message, please?
Cannabis. My record label, I pure courtesy of myself.
Right. Right.
That is hilarious.
Oh.
So you got anything you want to add, Sean?
Look here. Hold on. I'm pretty certain I'm not David Ruffin. Look at this. Where I got a point. Where I got a point to point at, Sean. Where I got a point to point
wow.
at.
But shout out to Jan Sport J on the second half of the beat. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I say this all jokes aside to say, well, that's him in his bag. He's always been in that bag. And to hear how the bag has evolved,
right,
to the point that he is literally the person that is actually really responsible for providing jobs in his community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the same as pulling up on the block. He's literally pulling up and buying the blocks now,
right,
buying spaces in the community, employing people for tours, for social media, for restaurants, for Silicon Valley, like tech in the, like, you know what I'm saying? He's literally doing this. And so when he's saying, why would you try to come for me? Why you ain't proud of Nas? It makes you think, do we still have a self-hate problem in this community? Because that's him addressing the deeper level of it while still being super lyrical, socioeconomic, bar work, thought process, goat talk. And that's why it's the best verse. It's goat talk. It's got everything in the verse.
Yeah, one of the strongest songs on the album for sure. Moving on to the next one. This one has a special place for me because it hits different. Once a man, twice a child. Dealing with your own self-mortality. And I personally used to, I'm a physical therapist. I used to work in a nursing home at one point, and seeing the circle of life and the stages that people go through, or if you ever had to care for an elderly family member. I had to help care for my grandmother before she transitioned, God bless her soul. But this is one that really hits home, man, and you listen to it and it strikes a chord with you because we've lost a lot of hip hop giants in our spheres. So we talk about health and taking care of ourselves and all this and that, you know what I mean? So we're in our mid 40s. So listening to this song, it makes you realize that you likely have more years behind you than you got in front of you. You know what I mean? And that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. And this track really hits different. For me, it has Tupac vibes. This is a track that I can hear, Tupac coming out with the, and Hit Boy said he particularly did the Johnny J style production. And yeah, man, this is the type of track that hits you in your feels when you listen to it. You got anything to say about this one, Sean?
Nah, you wax poetic with that, man. That's a great point. Yeah, we are in our 40s, man. You and Coop look more in y'all 40s than I do, but to the point that you made me, we do look like we in our 40s. Both of y'all bald. Wow. Y'all bald and got gray hair and everything. Look crazy.
First of all, I never hear that. I never hear that. And we could color our hair just like you and try to.
I don't color my hair. This is good.
The midnight cocoa bean.
Yeah, I don't color my hair, baby. But real talk. No, but for real though. For real though, like this is one of the reflection songs because Nas does that a lot. He the songs that he make, a lot of them they hit home, especially for us who grew up on Nas, right? You're talking about our most performative years and also our most impressionable years that we came up, right? Since going back to Illmatic, I was 13 when Illmatic came out. I had just turned 13 when Illmatic came out. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 14 when Illmatic came out. And now I'm 44, and he's still speaking to me. Still speaking to me from an artistic way for me to understand. And this song is one of those songs that make you feel like how many more you have on the other side of that number, right? How many more good years you have. I played ball Monday and Tuesday night full court, and I was like, man, I'm tired. You know what I mean? And Coop, I had the basketball and the whip, and you saw it, and you ain't said nothing. You were like, yeah, I gotta go take a leak. You see the basketball in the front seat, so I'm really about that. But now it just.
I feel like it was a prop. I felt like it was for show. Felt like it was for prop. Felt like
had a bag in the back too.
It felt a little prop.
Nah,
we had all kind of props that day.
No.
Yes.
You all had all kind of props that day,
Yeah.
right? I don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Coop didn't allegedly.
Yeah. No, Coop didn't. Coop saw
Yeah.
that. Coop saw it and screamed. Ah, what is that? Put that
We
away.
we
You can say whatever you
allegedly
want.
have props.
You can say whatever you want. Like this, I'd like the county of Cobb to know not have anything. Like Cobb County to know it didn't have anything. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
No,
But at any rate, yeah, that's that this is a tough song to listen to. Love it. It's a great concept, but at times it's tough to listen to.
I feel like this is Second Childhood redone, but better.
It's the sequel. It's the sequel to it.
And I think it's better than Second Childhood, though.
I would agree. Only thing is that other one got Primo production. That might be the only edge.
I think that's might be the weakest Primo production job on a Nas project, though. So
yeah.
That's right. But yeah, that
SAG super chats.
super chat.
You got to remind your guy about super chats and stuff, man.
Yeah, because he has a phone.
He has a phone.
He's using his phone.
Maybe he should get my 90s 98 Windows iPad.
Yo, CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Sean, I thought you would have argued "Beg for Mercy" better than the Black Album just for laughs alone. Station had that. Laugh out loud.
Ain't nobody doing that. Like I'm burying "Beg for Mercy," and I like "Beg for Mercy."
Yo, CJ the Kid spinning bread with another $2 super chat. Why do so many people hate
Aguilar?
Yeah.
I don't think nobody hate Aguilar. Nobody was just paying no attention.
I mean,
not really hate. I mean,
yeah.
It's not hate. Just don't acknowledge your existence.
Right. Sorry,
Right.
CJ.
So next up we got Get Light. What do y'all think about this? I personally think that this should have been all over the radio.
It should have been. It should have been.
Stellar.
Yeah. New York radio dropped the ball on this one.
Stellar. How about this? This was the record. When I didn't hear this record getting played in New York specifically, I said, yeah, something's wrong with the climate and how they're supporting their artists. And I say that because it was playing in coffee shops and speakeasies down here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was hearing it down here in little after hour spots, little speakeasies, little spots, little Midtown, little Buckhead flow. You know what I'm saying? Little Midtown flow. And I'm like talking to my people up top. I'm like, y'all not playing this on the radio every day? I'm like, because this getting spins in Atlanta. Like on the humble, like the DJs are playing it. It's one of those records that the DJs fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Because it fits so many vibes. It fits so many environments. It's such a good record. In my opinion, it is one of the 5 best records on this album. I'll probably have it at 5. Maybe 6. It might not be a top 5 record.
But with that said, Coop, just hearing it for the first time, my initial thoughts was, and later on after it didn't get played, was this has had the potential, if it would have got a push behind radio, to be our modern day It Takes Two by Rob Bass. But Nas is rapping on there.
I don't know if it's that big in terms of what the cultural relevancy and impact it will be, but here's what
it has a similar feel, though.
Similar feel. How about this? When I listen to this record, and I don't mean this as a slight, this is just to kind of give you something to go off of. When I heard this record, I'm like, this type of record is as great of a record as Common will make you. And Common is a top 15 MC all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is as dope as a record as a Common will make you. And that's exactly what I thought. It's like, oh, this is Common's peak right here. And so when I thought about that, I'm like, no, this record should get played the way The Light gets played, the way Come Close gets played. Like all his big records that get played, I'm like, no, this record is at that level.
Should be in rotation, yeah.
Which means it should be in rotation. And that's one of those things. It's like, well, when I say that he's the greatest MC of all time, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the level, and the fact that New York radio did not recognize the level. It's egregious. It's one of the more egregious, like, hip-hop moments, because everything about this record says, play me.
Yeah.
Everything about the record says, play me.
Yeah, Sean's from New York, so it's his fault. So,
I mean, it's his people. So they probably, if they're acting like him, it's his people. So if they're acting like him, you know what I mean?
The crazy thing is, I had a conversation with Sylvie, and because I was asking about some stuff that our shows are also on Apple as well. And I was talking to Sylvie, just kind of getting some algorithmic information. And I asked her about this during that time. Like, yo, why is Get Light not in more rotation? And she said very quick, like, and Sylvie is an older white woman who knows hip hop very, very well. And she said, Sean, this album came out spring, summertime, New York, it would have been totally different. Because the vibe that it gives.
I ain't trying to hear that. I am not trying to hear that.
Cool.
No,
can I finish? Cool. Can I finish?
I hate when they make those excuses, Sean. Those are excuses.
Cool. Can I finish though? She said that the vibration was more of a 1-2 step in the city during that time. She said there are winter and fall songs, but there are also summer and spring songs that rings off a little bit different. He said, when you think about a song like that, that song should have been played in a lot of different spaces outside of that. It should have been played in different, different spaces with more light, not dreary, not, New York in this time of the year.
Songs are seasonal. It's a fact.
Yeah, that's all she was saying. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's like one of those things where it's a thing. This time of the year, what are people wearing in New York? Coats, hoodies, sweatsuits, whatever. Nobody really doing that much dancing right now. Everybody trying to find some place to get warm or some place just to walk around with the Timbs and everything dragging. But in the spring and summertime, that's when people are more so outside. You got your car, you got your window down, you're driving around the city, and you're playing something fresh. So it's always a different vibration, right?
And to your point, Sean, this current era, stuff is not conducive because it's like here today, gone tomorrow. It's not conducive to keep traction going into the spring months when it dropped in the fall because everything is here today and forgot about tomorrow. Like if you take this back to the 90s, it might would have made it to the spring and summer months. We haven't seen a record do that this year other than Not Like Us.
I hear what you were saying.
And look where it's at regional wise.
Right.
I hear what you were saying. Can I submit a couple things to you, if I may?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'd like to quote my 5th grade science teacher, Mr. Wainbright, who pulled me outside one day and said, Armand, excuses only satisfy the maker. So everything that she is explaining is built to satisfy the people that she has to satisfy. It's nothing personal. Okay? Excuses satisfy the maker. All right? Because all those things that she explained to you, they sound like excuses to a brother like me. Because here's why. Is KD3 a classic?
Yeah, absolutely.
It came out in November, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. November 11th.
That means they could have held this till March and played it then, and it would have been just fine. So who dropped the ball? Did Nas's people drop the ball, or did people like Sylvie drop the ball? I just want to know who dropped the ball, because somebody dropped the ball. Now, did Nas's people drop the ball?
Well, the album came out when it came out. So
No. The album came out when it came out. It's a classic album, is it not?
Right.
What was the first single? Because it wasn't this.
No, the first single was Michael and Quincy was the only single release, I believe.
I believe 30 was released.
No, 30 was next. Yeah, after Michael and Quincy.
Michael and Quincy and 30 got released.
Right.
Right.
We can't hold get like till March, April, May when it starts to warm up.
But you missed what I just said. This climate is not conducive to that.
It's not conducive to that. Cool. So I hear what you're saying. What your science teacher told you.
When you have a classic album, it is.
No, cool.
Not in 2024.
No, right. Oh, cool. You know these things. And
I don't know these things because here's what I'm saying. The way that things work now, you can give stuff shelf life when you feel like it. That's the way that it really works, fellas. You give it shelf life when you feel like giving it shelf life.
The consumer behavior is different now. The attention span is different. Cool. Your science teacher is absolutely right. But my sergeant major told me quantifiable facts wins everything. Quantifiable facts. We quantify things and we put them in this right perspective. No disrespect to your science teacher. I'm pretty sure he or she was a great person. But what I'm saying is quantifiable facts tells us the consumer behavior, they don't have a strong attention span.
Yeah, Coop, you got to reference back to when you was in 5th grade. How long ago was that?
No. I get what you were saying.
You got to count the years that you repeated too, and then like add that carried away.
Okay, first of all, my family's not from West Virginia. We don't repeat grades. We actually have the necessary books, reading tools, materials. We have everything we need to succeed.
Oh gosh.
We're not 3 years behind on the curriculum. Okay.
No, I could have graduated early. I graduated with honors. I had math passes and rows.
I'm saying what he said to emanate the fact that it's like, well, here's the reality of the matter. There might have been people that didn't even know KD3 dropped in November if he releases this in April. That would have been privy to it. That's why I'm saying it still feels like somebody dropped the ball, because the record has all the components for airplay. So if you're saying, based on what you were told, that, well, he released this album at a time where that song wasn't going to get circulation based on how the behavior and the people go in New York during those months. I'm saying, if it's a classic album, we can't tuck till April and drop? No? That's not a possibility? No, I'm asking. No, I'm legitimately asking. I'm not being funny.
I'm giving you an answer. Like, it's not the 90s and 2000s anymore. It's
stuff moves too fast.
It moves too fast.
Oh,
I don't agree with it.
When did Kendrick drop the video to Not Like Us?
But cool, I'm not speaking on like I'm agreeing with.
When did Kendrick drop the video to Not Like Us?
Get Light is not like Us.
I'm asking a question. We're talking about how things are working, right? So you're telling
that's an anomaly, bro. Not Like Us is an anomaly.
No. You don't try to change anything. Tell me when Not Like Us came out, and then tell me when the video dropped. Because I feel like there was about a 2-3 month gap.
Yeah, it was 3 months.
It's a 3-month gap.
Name another song that's had that kind of traction.
If it's a 3-month gap, you don't get to tell me that it can't be done. You understand that? Because I'm watching it be done.
Get Light is not Like Us, bro. As much as I love Nas, they are not the same.
Here's the reality of the matter. My whole point is that you really can do what you want in these days and times. Kendrick could take 3 months to release it, not about it being hot, because everything is free bands now. There is no organization, guys. There is no structure. There is no format. So don't tell me that Nas couldn't have dropped this record in April. Like, don't tell me that.
But cool.
You're saying Nas should have held it and dropped it in April, or the radio stations and people should have held on to it and pushed it in April?
No.
Because that's two totally different arguments.
That's why I asked you who dropped the ball, because one of those two things should have happened.
The consumer.
That's why I asked who dropped the ball.
The consumer.
There you go, Sean. The consumer dropped the ball. Because if people would have got behind it, it would have lasted to April.
Think about it. Remember, we had the Get Like challenge. It was the Get Like challenge was there. It was trending. It was some spark to it. The consumer didn't keep it going. They didn't continue to thrust it. The radios are only going to do what the consumer asks them to do, meaning requesting, pushing it, getting into the algorithm. It's the consumer. You can hold whatever you want to hold. It's the consumer that drives it regardless. I don't like it. It's not my rule, but that's what it is. The consumer got behind, like you said, you mentioned Kendrick joint, Not Like Us. Look who all got behind it.
Concerted effort.
It was concerted effort.
Yeah.
New York got behind Get Light for the most part and had the challenge going on. You know what I'm saying? We got behind 30. 30 rang off.
30 was that one.
Got behind 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just you need more. You need more. The fans be saying, "Oh, we want the Primo Nas album. We want this. We want that." When it comes, we don't show up.
Nope.
That was one of our biggest problems. That's one of our biggest things. Like, yo.
Oh no, that's why I don't want a Nas Primo album, because all those dudes that say they want a Nas Primo album, when Nas and Primo do some modern day shit, they don't show up at all.
Yeah, right? they ain't gonna mobilize. They ain't gonna mobilize.
They are literally still playing New York State of Mind and Memory Lane. Like, they played those records today.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, we gotta move on. Next track is First Time. This is like a moments continuation of moments from KD2. What's your thoughts on First Time, the subject matter and the concept that Nas covered on this track?
Only he can do that.
Nostalgia.
There's certain rappers that can do certain things, and he's one of those that can do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my art. That's plain and simple for me.
You realize when you listen to this album that and this is what makes Hit's production so special. He provided the type of production that put Nas in his special bags. This album is him in his rhyme sayers bag, his socioeconomic bag, his storytelling bag, and his nostalgic bag. Those are his four big bags. Like his production has him in his bags. That's why this album sounds so good.
Yeah.
The stuff like as a writer, the beat incites you to write a certain way. Hit is making the type of beats on this album that are perfect for what his bag is. A la a Havoc for Prodigy on Hell on Earth. This bag of beats is made for Nas. This is one of those records that seals that deal for you, where it's like, man, this is for Nas. Like, because the stuff that Hit is doing production-wise is bringing this out, and this is what he does best. And that's what makes some of this music so classic on here. And this is a prime example of it.
It's tailor-made for him. Tailor-made for him.
Absolutely.
Next, we got the track Beef. And what I find fascinating about this concept record, Hit said in an interview that he had to push Nas to even include it on the album. Nas didn't want to include this on the album because he felt like it couldn't live up to what fans' expectations of it would be because they would compare it to his other concept works. So with that said, where do you think Beef as a personification concept record stacks up in his catalog? Because he has a slew of songs like this, right? So where does that land? Me personally, before I let y'all talk, I think people get lost on comparing it to those other works. But for me, it satisfied that version of Nas on here because, like you said, Coop, he checked every other box that he has in his wheelhouse. But as far as that Nas concept record where he does a personification or something like that, we hadn't really had any of that throughout the whole KD series or Magic series. So for me, that satisfied that, checking off that box. So I didn't really get too caught up in comparing it to, I Gave You Power and stuff like that. I was just more so happy that we got that version of him again.
See Jarv in the chat getting it on. What up, Jarv? I'm somewhere in the middle on this record. I don't love this record. Can't lie.
Okay.
I do feel like I am one of those people that is holding him hostage potentially about his prior works because I do go to him for the conceptual stories. I am somebody that has bloviated over and over and over and over again about the brilliance of the setup and how the setup is even inspired, is the inspiration for Biggie to do Niggas Bleed on Life After Death. I Gave You Power is on that same album. So is The Message. So is Shootouts. It's not that. It's not even close to that. And that would be the biggest problem that you may have with that. He at some of that Tom Brady, LeBron James going on. Well, it's like, well, you're really a victim of what you did early. You're a victim of making rewind. But
this is still a 40-year-old dropping 40.
And okay, so respectfully, this ain't 40 though. If you want to say it's 35, I'll give you that. This ain't 40 dropping 40 though. This ain't. How about this? This ain't what LeBron just did, dropping 3 straight triple doubles at 39 years old, going on 40. It's not that level. It's the next level down. But here's what it does, and this is one of those things where Hit deserves more credit. Fits well within the scheme of the album. It fills a gap and checks a box of something that's not on the album. It still is highly entertaining and insightful and thought-provoking. It is just not at the level of a Blazer 50. The setup, I Gave You Power, Rewind. Well, these are the highest highs that we know of storytelling outside of The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick and some Scarface and Ghostface Ice Cube stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's operating against his own peak. And so those are 60-point games. And so it's like, well, when you watch him get 35, it's like, well, he didn't get 60. It's like, well, he can't get 60.
But here's the irony. If J. Cole makes this exact track, we're saying he dropped 60. You see what I'm saying? Like, if they executed on this level.
if J. Cole makes this record, it's album of the song of the year. If Kendrick makes it, it's the best rap song of all time.
That's my point. You
The
know,
greatest
it's
rap song. If Kendrick makes this song, it's the greatest rap song of all time.
right. You know, Nas got to compete against himself. You got anything on this one, Sean?
No, I think I heard you guys. I mean, listening to you guys talking about the other concept records, and I think about the beats that accompany those records. I think that the beat is not the right beat for Beef.
Okay.
I really don't. I think that when you hear I Give You Power, that's Preem at his finest, right? Even Fetus, it doesn't give you shock and awe.
It's not even Fetus. You're right. It's not Fetus.
Fetus is not talked about enough.
Right.
Fetus is up there.
Fetus is crazy.
In that top tier.
It's that top tier. When I hear Beef, when I started, when I read the concept before I heard the song, and I was excited. But then when I heard the beat, I was like, I was underwhelmed.
That's fair.
I don't know
it's
why.
not one of the stronger beats on the album. That's fair.
Right. I don't know why. I still can't figure it out.
Let me ask you something. Sean, do you think it's better than Small World off I Am?
Damn, that's a good question, Cool.
I don't.
I think
okay. So
Carolyn from Maryland, she Lady Heroin. Yo, that shit's crazy.
So for me, Small World would be his A- B+ work.
Bingo.
So
I love that song though, man. I'm biased.
Small World's my shit.
At my man's way, she read the eulogy.
How about this? What about Undying Love?
I love Undying Love.
That's top tier. That's a movie. That's Scorsese level.
I like
that's
Small World better than Undying Love, but I'm just doing it to gauge. Okay, so Beef is not one of those two records.
No,
that's not his A+ game in my opinion. Undying Love and Small World is not his A+, because A+ is Rewind. I Gave You Power, the setup, shootouts, the message. That's A+. So what we're saying is that Beef is just a B.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a B-. It's a B-.
Not grade A B.
It's a B-.
No fun.
It's a B-, but if it was Kendrick or Cole, it would be an A+, and that's why he's the GOAT.
Absolutely. Next we got
one last thing.
Go ahead.
You think about Beef, and you think about the attack that it has on the community. What he's talking about, the content of that, the message, the messaging.
Content's where it's winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's winning, but it challenges everything that we are up against right now. It challenges everything that you're hearing in other songs as well.
And he took it back to the Bible. Like, I mean, what he did was masterful on there, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen again. It's still a B-.
Yeah.
But next we got Don't Shoot. I think this is one of the weaker tracks on the album, but it's still a decent album closer.
Which one? Don't Shoot. I love Don't Shoot, actually.
Don't Shoot.
I love Don't Shoot.
I like the beat. I like the eerie sentiment of the beat, but it's okay.
Least favorite records? Least favorite records? Album opener, album closer. Love everything in between.
Yeah.
Really?
I wasn't a big fan of Don't Shoot.
Really?
Yes. I believe the two weakest moments on here for me are the album opener and the album closer. I've always felt that way about this album. And to be honest with you, it's what's preventing me from taking it up into that next tier classic too, because I do feel like it is a classic, but I feel like it is a modern day. Yes, I feel like it is a modern day classic and maybe not an all-time classic. And it is about those two records, the beginning and the ending, because it matters. Because this is a guy that we're used to starting off albums with the message and ending with.
We're gonna get to that in a second. But you say like gotta finish and start both strong.
Yeah.
I thought, man, I love Don't Shoot.
Shootouts and live nigga rap and If I Rule the World.
Well, like you said earlier, Sean, that's your opinion.
It ain't hard to tell.
Wow.
Money Is My Bitch, Undying Love. Like his album enders are stunning, and this is not it. His album endings are stunning, and this is not it.
But that's not the complete end.
To tell ended a rap album, nigga.
Listen to what he's saying on Don't Shoot, though.
Listen to the messaging is there. Don't get me wrong. The messaging is there.
The pocket he was in.
Oh, that last verse is crazy. show you how to maneuver when the Coop. Yeah, he was going crazy right there.
The closer's better than the opener to me.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna hold that thought. Okay. But that doesn't end the album totally. We do have a bonus track.
You know how I feel about bonus tracks. Everybody that knows Coop don't count no bonus tracks towards no album.
But we don't care. That's why I was going to ask Sean. So Queens get the money. You know what I'm saying? You got the Mets representing on that last track. Sean, did you like that joint representing the Mets, even though you are a Yankees fan?
This is Mets. That's why they lost.
In the streets. You know the crazy thing, I didn't appreciate this song more until we did the station here the other night when we played the sample,
right,
and kind of stripped it down, because I feel like this song did not fit the aesthetic of the entire album. And I do lean towards what Coop is saying about bonus tracks, because it does really sound like a bonus track. It really sounds like a bonus track. I didn't appreciate it more until I actually heard it.
It's like,
it's like I got sick. Like when Taj told me, she was like, that's the Met song. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't tell me that. I'm like, oh
my God. It was all right.
It was all right, Jordan. Like, oh my God. I was like, Mets. I was like, ugh.
It was all right, Jordan. That joint sounded like it was made to circulate in some different areas. You know what I'm saying? But it was all right. So that wraps up the KD talk. But we was going back to our previous show, and I was reading the comments, and Coop was getting a lot of flack for his thoughts on Ghetto Reporter, because a lot of people think that intro is pretty dope. So that brought to my attention that we should, rank.
I think we need to push that one.
Okay, we can do that our own separate joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we was gonna do that anyway. All right, we'll hold that thought, because Coop was getting cooked.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I actually started throwing gasoline on the fire. I'm like, what y'all really think about Coop in his joint?
First of all, falls right in line with your hater tendencies. Hating ass tendencies.
But
I keep trying to tell you, AG, these people don't know shit.
But we're gonna revisit that. Coop, you're not off the hook. We're gonna revisit this conversation, but we gotta move on.
They are watching Coop because they are lacking knowledge. And this information is the knowledge.
Yeah. We'll revisit this, Coop. You're not off the hook yet. You know what I'm saying? We'll revisit this. So moving on. So we'll skip that one. We're gonna go on to our next segment, before we get to our final segment, is our Discord dialogues, where we like to highlight our Discord chat, where we vote every week on a artist or artist, group, producer, or whatever to talk about, who may not get a lot of love, and we get the opportunity to give them their flowers. And this week's winner, who actually came up early in the show, was the legendary Kool G Rap. So, Coop is real excited about it, but I'm gonna let Sean lead off since his Queens get the money.
No, y'all go. I'm about to go into the chat so I can.
No, Corona Queens. No, Corona Queens. This is your brother.
This is your Corona. Y'all know how I feel about Kool G Rap. Corona Queens get the money. One of the dopest MCs. Nas come from the trio Kool G Rap. Corona OGs. Y'all know what it is. I'm about to go back into the session so I can send out all our socials. Discord dialogues, Coop and AG moment. Yeah.
All right, Coop, you up. What do you got on Kool G?
Okay, cool. You got to do it right, though, because Corona looking at you right now, so you got to do it right.
Nobody asked you to get off the screen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Right.
So, AG, now that we really...
Wow. This is what I mean about talking to HR by the show's being ran.
Yo, you do need to report him on that joint. I ain't gonna hold you.
I got a human resources claim, don't I?
You do. You got a legit one this time, Coop.
No, this guy is still probably the most underrated MC of all time, AG.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He is the author and the father, in my opinion, to the mafioso style that's embodied by Raekwon,
absolutely,
by Nas,
AZ,
by Big, AZ, Jay-Z. When people talk about Nas's rhyme style being comparable to Rakim, I do not find that to be true. I think people do not know what the fuck they are talking about.
More G-Rap, yeah.
He's always been more G-Rap.
That's why Russell wouldn't sign him.
With with the content and the verbiage, he was always more Cool G Rap.
Yes.
He is just a thinker and poetically inclined like Rakim. But the stuff that he is saying, and this is what I try to tell people, and I feel like sometimes it's the first record that he made, which took the Rakim sample from Mahogany. But if you listen to Nas rap on New York State of Mind and you close your eyes, you can't tell me that's not Cool G Rap. Pick the Mac up, Toe Brothers back up, the Mac spit, lead was hitting niggas, one ran, I made them backflip, heard a few chicks scream, my arms shook, couldn't look, gave another squeeze, heard it click, yo, my shit, that's Cool G Rap.
That's G.
People are wondering. That's not
G.
Rakim. Rakim doesn't talk like that. Rakim has never talked like that, AG. Never. And so for all of us that think that Nas is the greatest MC of all time, well, Cool G Rap is where he really birthed most of his style from.
Right.
And so did Big. So did Jay. My favorite Jay line on the Black album is, hearing me rap is like hearing Cool G rap prime. Because I knew that there were people who didn't know who Cool G Rap was that were going to go look and dig and find out based on what Jay said. He's the most underrated MC of all time. If we're talking bar for bar, he's still a top 10 MC. His 3-run album stretch might be the most underrated album run by an all-time great MC too, because Road to Riches, Wanted Dead or Alive, and
Rest in Peace DJ Polo.
Rest in Peace to Polo, who passed this year. Oh, all those 3 of those albums, no. Classic.
Yes.
So he, in my opinion, has 3 rap classics in his bag. On top of the influence, on top of the spear, and this is what it goes down to at the end of the day, AG. Well, the subject matter is what hurt.
Yes.
And then you start seeing why Nas is more versatile and poetically inclined, because he had to watch his idol not get his due.
Right.
And keep in mind, Cool G Rap, think about the lineage of this. Cool G Rap finds DJ Polo through Eric B.
Mm-hmm.
Cool G Rap knows Eric B before rap, outside of rap. You feel me? Everybody watch what I'm saying? You know Eric B outside of rap. Everybody up there in New York know what I'm talking about. You know Eric B outside of rap.
Yeah, he was outside.
All right? He trying to legitimize. Eric B puts him on the DJ Polo. They're recording at fucking Marley Marl's house. Mm-hmm. Like, this is rap history with Cool G Rap. Marley likes It's a Demo. Because It's a Demo, the demo is getting recorded at his place. He's like, no, this guy needs to be on my team. And based on the stuff that he is hearing him and Polo do, which is, I think, It's a Demo and like one other song, maybe 2 or 3 other songs, puts him in the entire Juice Crew with Biz Markie, Roxanne Shante, Big Kane, like off the rip. So let's take that to modern day times for us. Marley Marl putting G Rap in the crew, in the Juice Crew, on one song is the equivalent to AZ getting a record deal for the verse on Life's a Bitch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The modern day equivalent to that. And so that's how big and how good he was. The Marley only needed to hear him one time. Eric B was trying to find him a DJ. Do you know, this is why Eric B's running around with Rakim. These guys obviously think something of Cool G Rap. This is Eric B and Marley Marl putting Cool G Rap in the game. A special MC whose story doesn't get told often enough. And when the story did get told too often about the negative things, and there's some negative things, but bar for bar, I can only put a handful of guys ahead of him, and those guys are Rakim and Nas and Black Thought. And after that, I can't give you definitively and tell you anybody's lyrically better after those 3. So those are my thoughts about Cool G Rap.
Yeah, you wax poetic about that, bro. I mean, and the influence is crazy. Like, Cool G has so much influence, and he's the least lauded of those legends, like, Kane, Rakim, KRS, Slick Rick, that era. Cool G rap. Yeah, Cool G is the least lauded. And, remember the Juice Crew, you covered his 3-album run that was classics, at the very minimum 2 and a possible. But we'd be remiss if he had a whole solo career after, parting ways with DJ Polo. Like 4, 5, 6 is a very good album. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a big fan of the Giancana story too. Like, G Rap got joints out there. And what I love about G Rap, you know what I'm saying, then we'll move on because you covered everything that needed to be covered. I like the fact that his signature like list, that was something that became his like superpower. You know what I mean? Because that's something that you would
He
think,
took a minus and made it a plus.
right? Because you would think that would be something that will hold somebody back. But G Rap is not G Rap if he doesn't have that. The flow would be different. It's kind of like 50 after getting shot, you know what I'm saying, in the mouth. Like he had that drawl or whatever, you know? It became G Rap's signature. And I think that became his superpower. And I think that's so dope, man. And G Rap is just a legend in this game. He doesn't get praised enough, man.
You want to know what the dopest things that he did with his list, PG? Is that he actually started using more words that involved his list when he realized.
Right. Multi-syllable schemes
right.
and stuff.
So when you're
Listen,
listening
man.
to him on the symphony, Marley gives the slice. I get nice and I'm twice as horrifying as Vincent Price. No, that's intentional because he's
He
understanding.
embraced it.
Yes, when he embraced it. He embraced the crisp list.
Yeah. G Rap, man, we salute you. One of the pioneers and the legends of this game, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to give you your flowers. So appreciate the Discord for voting G Rap as the Discord Dialogues winner for this week. So that'll take us into our next segment, which is the press play segment.
Corona Queens get the money, the OG. Appreciate y'all doing that. Appreciate y'all doing that. Y'all did a phenomenal job with that. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We got the press play segment next where we give our individual playlists of what we've been listening to throughout the week. I'm gonna let Coop start it off. He disappeared for a second.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. I just needed to do something right quick.
Okay.
Bet. Sorry.
You got the floor, Coop. Let the people know what you've been listening to this past week.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to pull up my list because I sent it to Sean, but I forgot to take it down.
I got it for you. You need it? I got it.
Yep, I need my list.
Okay.
I didn't have a chance because, yes. So my list for press play this week is going to be what I feel like are Kool G Rap's 7 best features. First, we have his actual, and people don't understand this, outside of the symphony, this is his first guest appearance. And so the symphony really doesn't count as a guest appearance because he's part of the Juice Crew. But with Heavy D, Big Daddy Kane, Pete Rock, Don't Curse. Oh, and Grand Pooba's on here too. This is actually one of the most underrated posse cuts of all time. But do you know how hard it is to have a song called Don't Curse and to ask Kool G Rap to be on it and not curse?
Right.
Yeah.
This is one of the most special guest appearances in rap history. It's the only time that you will not find G Rap calling a bitch a hoe, pimping hoes, shooting dice, shooting niggas, selling dope, talking shit, talking like sex. Rikers Island. Next song. MOP featuring Kool G Rap, Stick to Your Guns. I picked this record. I don't think people even remember this record. This right here, MOP, Kool G Rap, Stick to Your Guns. This is some New York B-boy shit right here. Like MOP, this is one of my top 5 MOP records. And I love that they pulled G Rap for this record because even though different styles kind of embodying a lot of the same thing, like MOP embodies a lot of like the New York struggle. I feel like G Rap embodies the New York hustle. So this is like the struggle meeting the hustle. That's why I chose this record. Next record.
No doubt.
Yeah, I love that record. Picked this record. It's one of my favorite G-Rap performances, but I also knew we were covering Soul Survivor. What would we be to cover Soul Survivor and talk about Kool G Rap in the same episode with not discussing Kool G Rap's guest appearance on Soul Survivor, which is actually a remake of his Truly Yours off his classic album, Road to Riches. Yeah, verse on here is great. Large Pro sounds good. On this record, you can tell there are 2 producers on here, and there's 1 rapper. The rapper is Kool G Rap. He's definitely busting their ass on here. Nothing against Large Pro and Pete Rock. They cannot rap with Kool G Rap. Next song.
Doubt.
Papoose featuring Kool G Rap, Thug Connection. Funny thing, I found out about Papoose through this song. This song came out when I used to work at the record store Manifest in Charlotte. The only reason that I listened to this song, who the fuck is this weird nigga rapping with Kool G Rap? Because when I saw the name Papoose, I'm like, what the fuck is a Papoose? I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? I'm like, Kool G Rap's on there. I'm in. People don't realize. I think this song came out a little bit after Kool G Rap had dropped Roots of Evil, and so he was kind of back on the scene as a solo artist and fully in his bag. And Papoose was an up and coming artist. This was one of my favorite records in high school.
No.
This might be the most unheralded rap song that nobody talks about. Class of '87 with Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, and Kool G Rap. Big Daddy Kane, I realized too from doing my research, Big Daddy Kane is Kool G Rap's most frequent collaborator. Big Daddy Kane
did a lot of joints, but that's Juice Crew stuff, you know.
Listen to what I'm saying. Big Daddy Kane and Kool G Rap actually have more songs together than Nas and AZ have together. How about that?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought that, but yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, go check. If you actually go look at all the stuff that they come together, it's been recent because they've done a couple joints together in the past couple years. Put them over the top, but Big Daddy Kane is on Don't Curse on Heavy D's album, The Symphony.
Yep.
Tony Touch, Class of '87. Kane and G Rap have been getting it on and boxing with each other literally since they were in their 20s. If you don't know about Class of '87 record on the Tony Touch mixtape, you need to check out Class of '87. That's a gem.
Dope. Good pull, Coop.
These last two records, this is Kool G Rap on the realest on Murder Music Mob Deep. I don't got it. We'll have to explain this record to people. I think all the heads know. We all know about the realest.
One of my favorite beats of all time, too, I might add.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't Havoc do this beat, or is this Alchemist?
I believe it's Havoc.
This was Havoc.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I'm with you, AG. How about this? This is his most underrated beat.
Yeah, this beat is crazy.
It's crazy what he did with this beat. But what's even crazier is how he slowed this beat down and somehow Kool G Rap still found a way to rap fast on it.
Right.
Yeah. Then he's like, oh, you slowed the BPMs down? He's like, that doesn't matter. Still gonna machine gun funk the beat.
Yeah. This beat's crazy.
Oh, also too, shout out to Mobb Deep for doing songs with Rakim and Kool G Rap when they started their solo careers without their DJ, because they got the Rakim joint with Hoodlum and they got the realest with Kool G Rap. Shout out to Mobb Deep for actually making those classic moments happen. And last but not least, guys, I think we all know that Kool G Rap's best guest appearance, the showdown with Kane, it's the Symphony. In my opinion, it is still, Kool G Rap and Kane on the Symphony to close it out, that is still the best ending to a posse cut of all time, in my opinion. It is still the most legendary ending. It is a legendary showdown that is still taking place for years. And if you were to tell me that the Symphony is still Rap's best posse cut, I would not believe you. Kane and G Rap are so supreme on this that people forget that Masta Ace and Craig G killed shit on this record. It's just Kool G Rap and Kane left Earth. And I actually think, technically speaking, G Rap actually has the better verse. Kane is the charismatic guy. And so what you actually see in G Rap is you got your super lyrical guy, and in Kane you have the charismatic guy. Well, you got one guy from Queens that's super lyrical, and you got one guy from Brooklyn that's super charismatic. Sounds familiar?
Yep.
Right. Well, understand where it came from, because those guys didn't grow on trees. They grew off these trees.
That's a big fact. That's a big fact.
Kool G Rap. These guys didn't grow on trees. They grew off those trees.
Yeah. Yep. Dope list, Coop. That was a dope concept.
Yep.
G Rap love.
G Rap love. I love to see it.
You want to go next, Sean?
Yeah, I can go next.
Okay.
For me, I wanted to stay within the theme of our KD3 run. So definitely want to start off with Thun. Don't have to talk about it. You know what it is. Queens Get the Money. Thun, Kid Cole, all of that. Had to start there. Also wanted to go with 30. I felt like I always say 30 is, to me, that's not superhero music right there. That's the stadium flow that we always wanted. We got it, and it represents well. It knocks well.
Yep.
I also want to go to Recession Proof, one of my favorite joints off of KD3.
Love that song.
Love that song. Love the story. Love the jungle story part of it. I love all of this about this song. The beat is dope. Everything. You know what I mean? Love that song.
Oh, first two playlists is Queens Get the Money, huh?
That's right.
Gotta be. My next one, of course, is What More Can I Say? I love this song. This is one of those songs that during that time I was on recruiting duty and for the Marine Corps, and it was crazy. It's tough. I was killing it out there. There was doubters, and this was one of my go-to records. Like I needed something to motivate me. This was that.
Well, hold on. I feel like that was an addendum to your list because I think you just put that in there to beat the allegations. But go ahead.
Because I got the visuals and everything already ramped up.
That's not gonna help him beat the case, AG. He still needs an attorney.
Nah, not at all.
He still needs an attorney.
And Encore. Encore is my other joint. You know what I mean? I love Encore. Like Jay, this was the one. Because I think Encore was the first song I heard off of the album before the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Encore on the mixtape before I heard the album. And I was like, he's doing this. He might be back. And I was hoping he was going to come back. I'm going to be honest.
Talk about stadium flow.
Yeah. I hope he never comes back.
I just never loved the record. I just never loved it. I've always liked it. I never loved it.
Really? Encore?
I love that song.
I don't know why. Like when I hear it, I hear everything about it that's great that makes it great. It just don't hit me like it should. You know how some records, they're great, but it just don't hit you? Encore is one of those records. Because I know Encore is great. It just never hit me like that.
It's that Kanye magic, man. Kanye was in his bag on that.
That's what's keeping me away. It's the Kanye repellent that I've been putting.
But you said the album was a classic.
Kanye repellent is crazy.
But you said the album was a classic. Also, public service announcement. Love public service announcement. I think this might be the second song I heard off of the Black Album before it actually came out, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this guy might be back." You know what I mean? He might be back.
I think all his shows should start with PSA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every TV show should start with PSA.
Oh yeah, 100%. The vibe of it. Unless you're performing for Tom Brady, they don't care in that crowd.
Shots
quick question on that. PSA or you don't know?
You don't know.
You don't know.
I'm with y'all. We agree 3 for 3.
Something about you don't know, man.
It's different.
I only have imaginary players ahead of you don't know. Like the Evils and Imaginary Players are the only records better than you don't know.
Dead Presidents, maybe.
Dead Presidents lyrically. I don't know if overall
sonically
you don't know.
And I think Where I'm From is close.
All of them. 1,000,001 Questions. That's the high.
Yeah, it's all
Streets is watching.
Yep.
It's all definitely all there. So the Country of Belief, I rock with the Black Album, right?
I'm proud. I'm proud of you, Sean.
Whatever, man. My last one, whatever, man. My last one is Esco, Let's Go.
The gym. A lot of people don't know about this one.
Slept on. Esco, Let's Go.
He went crazy on every single verse. And the reason
how many Nas songs do we? Hold on, think about this, Sean. How many Nas songs do we have like that? We're saying, man, he went crazy on every verse. It's like, well,
it's like off for the court. Like it's an expectation.
Yeah.
The reason why I did this, and this is the genius behind who I am. If you think about, I started out with 3 Nas joints for KD3, and I had 3 J joints from the Black Album. If y'all remember when Jay first brought Nas out, when they actually got together,
I see the vision.
And Esco, Let's Go.
We did.
Remember that at the concert, he was like, Esco, Let's Go. And that was the first time him and Jay actually was on stage together after the beef and everything. Nas turned around and they had a song, Esco, Let's Go. What it is. Yeah. So the genius of me and the layers, y'all know what it is. But anyhow, that's my list.
Hey, please start your list. Oh my God.
Yo, for those who don't know, that's on the Digga Tape album. You know what I'm saying? The mixtape with Green Lantern. So check that out if you've never heard it.
It's the mixtape that was 20 times better than the album, for those that were wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not gonna get you started on that, Coop. So all right. My press playlist. I want this is for you, Coop. This is for you. So I wanted to pay.
As long as Sean's not talking and copping, please anymore, we're good.
I wanted to pay an ode to North Carolina. Since the bros, we hooked up and got to chill in North Carolina last weekend. We linked up with LT, like we said at the top of the show, was in Shelby. So I wanted to do some of my favorite tracks coming out of North Carolina for my press play segment. So Coop, I hope you approve. So to start it off, I got Under the Sun, which was from. Damn, already? It's like, that's crazy. Under the Sun is a banger, man. You know, on the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 compilation album, you got you know, J. Cole representing Fayetteville, but you also got Luke and the Baby representing Charlotte. This is a dope collab. I mean, they all three killed the record. I had this in constant rotation when this song came out. Love the record. The second joint I got is Middle Child. Middle Child is my favorite J. Cole song by far. T minus on the production. Everything that J. Cole did lyrically, and maybe even more impressive than the verses, is the hook is just classic. You know, the song. Yeah, the song is classic from top to bottom. My favorite J. Cole song, so I had to include that. Then transitioning from those two joints.
You say Sleepyville. Yeah, that's
great.
Don't disrespect North Carolina on the press play.
Yeah, don't hate on North Carolina. Next, I got Back in My Bag off the recent Please Don't Cry album by Rhapsody. It's one of my favorite joints on that record. I revisit it a lot when I play Rhapsody's album. I just, you know, she's going crazy on that.
Go ahead. What Little Brother record you picking, AG?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll get to it. So next, you know what I'm saying? Sean wanted to talk about his genius and how he tied in the Jay-Z and Nas thing. I just named some J. Cole records, and then I named a Rhapsody record. So now I got Sojourner, you know what I'm saying, which is off the Eve album, where J. Cole and Rhapsody both spaz on that track. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Knife Wonder, who's also North Carolina on the production. So Sean is not the biggest genius of hip hop talks. In fact, I am. So moving on. He takes that
right there. That's a banger right there, AG. That's a North Carolina banger right there through and through.
Yes, sir. Sean takes the low hanging fruit, the easy ones. You know what I'm saying? So moving on.
That song existed. What do you mean? He didn't know Esco existed.
Come on, though. Don't do that to Coop.
He didn't know. He just texted me like, "Yo, I didn't know that. Where can I find that?"
Sean Cabot. All right, so now we're here now, Coop, where you was asking about Little Brother songs. We're gonna finish out the playlist with my personal 3 favorite Little Brother songs. I got Speed off of
this Little Brother shit. I knew you about to
hey, you knew it was coming, Coop. Pause. But Speed from The Listening, Ninth Wonder, Kill This Beat. You know what I'm saying? Love this record. So The Listening is a classic album. I don't care what Coop says. Listening is a classic. So moving on. Next one I got Slow It Down. Ironically enough, coming after Speed, you know, because once again, I went for the pun. Like I said, like Sean think he's the smartest one in the room, but he's not.
What are you thinking, AG?
But Slow It Down though, right? Off the Minstrel Show. Fonte's second verse is one of the realest verses that I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? If you're a guy and you know, in a relationship, moving certain ways and stuff, it's like it's real talk, and that's what I love about Fonte. He relates to the everyman. You know what I'm saying? So if you hear that song and been in a relationship and has struggles within that relationship, Fonte got some real talk. The whole record, you know, comes from a real place, and then you know, just Fonte just took it somewhere else and spit some real truth. You know, being a man in a relationship a lot of times. So. That was a dope song. And from my last joint, I got Loving It, also off the Minstrel Show featuring Joe Scudder. That arguably is their biggest, you know, they never really made it big, but that's their biggest like hit, quote unquote hit or single. And I think that's just a great record that I revisit often. And it might be my favorite Little Brother song overall. So I just want to play tribute to North Carolina. Hope Coop approves being from there. And that's my press play.
I love the list except for Speed.
Okay. I'm good with that. That's my favorite song off the Listening. So
okay. I'm not big on the Listening like I am the Minstrel Show, but Slow It Down. Yeah.
But I tell you what, I almost didn't put Speed because I wanted to put something off of Chitlin Circuit 1.5, but a lot of people ain't up on that. That's crazy.
Loving It is taking the easy way out, AG, but it's taking the appropriate easy way out. So I'm gonna let you have it because it is
it's their best song.
It's arguably their best song.
Yeah, the best and their biggest song.
How about this? In combination of being biggest, it's their best song. Yes.
Absolutely. So before we get out of here real quick, Coop, you had something you wanted to say real quick?
Well, you know, I've been talking to some people behind the scenes, and people think that they are sneakerheads. And I tell them, it's like, no, 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 I am crewed up. I have a crew. We have real sneakerheads. And so what I'd actually like you and Sean to do before we leave, AG, is stone on these hoes. Break the Nikes out. Break the Nikes out.
Hold on. We'll
Break the
see
Nikes
what
out.
we
Break the Nikes
got
out.
on today. You
Break
know what I'm
the
saying? Got the Supreme Jordan 5
Ooh.
limited edition.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? The desert camo. You see it?
Camo.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, I'm saying.
He's on fire.
I don't know if y'all
out there.
really know about the
Quarter out there
Supreme
with-
like that. You know what I'm saying? Sean, New York, so he know about the Supreme. If y'all ain't up on that, a lot of people can't get those, don't got those, can't afford those. But yeah,
shots
desert
fired.
camo,
Shots fired that you broke, niggas. Shots fired.
desert camo Supreme 5s. You know what I'm saying? At least probably about 400 to 500 on the feet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I got on today.
AG said I got a PhD and I got the pay rate to match it.
Word.
Yeah, but Coop told us about that connect that he was talking about. I had to take it back to the vintage.
The connect want to see the shoes. I was like, you not want to fuck with my guys. I'm like, okay.
So, I'm AG had to do the Supreme joint, that was cute. But I wanted to.
Did you call the Supreme camo joints cute?
Yeah,
he did.
The Supreme camo joints.
He just did.
Sean,
Sean, you need to have fire shit like for you to.
He missed the assignment because you got Nike watching. We have to talk about the shoes that got Nike back on the map, and the silhouette was the Jordan 1 silhouette that actually got them on the map. Now I did not get a chance to get the dunks, the Woo dunks. I will be getting them probably by next week. But this is the actual pollen joints right here, and this is one of the original silhouettes of Nike. So Nike needed a shoe to get them back on track, and the silhouette ones was the one that got them back on track. They also needed something to carry them over, so they ended up having the Air Max silhouette as well, which is one of the best silhouettes.
Yeah, Tinker did his thing.
Tinker did his thing. Shout out to Tinker. Tinker did his thing. This one is an exclusive one. As you guys can see, there is a date in there. So they're not going to release these again. Haven't worn these, probably worn
Air Max Day.
Air Max Day. That's when I got these off the Air Max Day. So again, the assignment was to show Nike that we are sneakerheads, but I want to show the two shoes that got Nike from being bankrupt and actually catapult them in the 80s. So, yeah.
But real talk, that was cute what Sean did, because I actually have the Pollen Jordan 1s in my closet, but he don't have these Supreme 5s in my closet. But I'm man enough to admit that I don't have those Air Maxes, so I guess we 1 for 1.
Well, now I'm going to be man enough to admit something to both of you. Please don't do that ever again. Before we go, I have a confession to make. Now, for those who know me, I used to be like you guys. I used to be a sneakerhead. I had a problem.
It is a problem.
And I gave most of my shoes away.
It's a problem.
Dealing with you two uppity ass niggas.
Why we gotta be uppity?
Yeah, you're very uppity.
It's uppity. Like, I real talk.
After meeting you in person, take from an uppity nigga. You some two uppity ass niggas.
Oh, yeah. AG, you is I said the same thing, Coop.
No, it's levels, because let me tell you this. I hit on those Jordan 3 Black Cement 3s today, and I texted Sean, and Sean didn't answer. Like, I had to send him like 5 texts in a row. I didn't think they was going through. Sean wouldn't even answer me because he was mad because I hit and he didn't.
He doesn't respect. First of all, but I want to let you know, I tried to get the Wu-Tang dunks behind y'all back too, and I failed because I was gonna get y'all. I was like, I'm gonna scoop these niggas. I tried to get the Wu-Tang dunks.
That's some hate right there.
Tried to get the dunks behind your back. I ain't even gonna front. I had to let it out. So when AG was like, I lost out on the sneakers, I was like, motherfucker, I lost the sneakers too. I just didn't tell you.
That is some hate. I
put a bid in on the dunks. I lost the dunks too, fellas. All right. Y'all got me back in the sneakerhead conversation. Just gotta keep it down.
I respect you admitting it, Coop.
I told my daughter all these materialistic shoes don't matter after she bought like Air Force Air Max pair number 30. I was like, these shoes do not matter. Those were lies. Okay.
Yeah.
Coop's back. Coop's back on the shoe game.
Let's do it, man. It's contagious. It's contagious.
All right, I'm back up. 98 and 2001 Air Max is coming soon, niggas. All right. 98 and 01 Air Max is coming soon. Best years. All right. This is the show. We appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. I know we ran a little bit over. We've been having some good shows, having fun. We appreciate all of y'all for the love and support as we're wrapping up the year. Be tuned in for all the things we have coming down the pipeline with our merchandise and new shows, business cards, we won't just pull up in Shelby. We will pull up in your neighborhood. Shout out to LT for showing us much love. And this is Hip Hop Talks. AG, Sean?
Like, subscribe, share.
Subscribe, share. All of the social in the chat. I saw some people just got on the Discord. Join the Discord. We got some prizes coming real soon. Holidays, we're going to be giving away. We're going to be giving back to the people during the holidays. So we got some stuff lined up. Station Head is back in full effect as well. We had a Station Head show. We had 2 this week. We did the Nas KD3 sample series, and we did the KD3 run through. So we got some battles lined up. The Discord got some battles lining up as well. We actually have a new feature in the Discord where now we can all actually get together online. We can actually get together like a FaceTime thing, and we can play all music, not just a stream music, but we can play all music on that feature.
Hold on. People in the chat are asking what sneaks I have on my feet today. I'd like to show you. These are called the Polo House Shoes part 43. As in, this is what 43-year-old niggas wear in their house at night. It's called the Polo 43s.
Yeah, I'll be sacrificing comfort to be fly at work. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Polo 43s. You need to get you some Polo 43s for the crib. All right, the Polo
Absolutely.
43s for the crib.
Absolutely.
They give me a little height too. They make me taller than AG. All right.
Yo, I thought Coop was gonna be mad short in person, but we actually the same height.
Yeah. Why the fuck does everybody think I'm like 5'2"? It's like no. Rappers from Queens are 5'2". That is.
Here's why I thought LT was gonna be taller. You know what I'm saying, from CM, and I thought Coop was gonna be shorter, but it was the opposite.
LT looked like a rapper from Queens. I do not.
LT about 5'2", 5'3".
Rapper from Queens.
I was like, he's tiny. I need some tiny guys. But no. Hey, shout out to Evans. Me and LP had a conversation today. Queens get the money. Good dude, man. We had a real good conversation.
Yo, shout out to Evans for real. And shout out to my son Jordan for setting that joint up in the Discord. So we could say
Shout out to Jordan.
Yeah, he's doing this thing.
I have a family full of criminals. I will have my fucking sneaker collection restocked in no time. This is about to take like 3 or 4 months. These niggas take everything in these streets.
Coop didn't want to be involved in our activity earlier, but now he's talking about he got a family full of criminals. That's crazy.
No. Almost off probation.
Yeah. Coop wasn't moving how we was moving.
I wasn't moving how you were moving. I'm almost off probation.
Wolves, like wolves out there. Like wolves out there.
Less than 30 days. Less than 30 days. Can't wait. Less than 30 days.
No doubt, y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Everybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying, tuning in. Stay tuned. We got more coming y'all's way.
No
Peace,
doubt.
people.
Peace.
Peace.
Playing my guitar next on show.
Please don't.
All right.